5. We live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Trichome Life Grower Stream, number 11. Number 11. Hope everybody had a good week. Hope everybody's been tough tonight, man. We're about to get into some growth talk, you guys. We got some real good topics tonight. We also got a couple of new members on the Trichome Life Grower Stream panel tonight, so we definitely want to shout them out and let you guys know about their channel and everything like that. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of wait till, you know, more people kind of join in and stuff like that. I'm over here rolling up a blunt right now. Getting ready. What you guys smoking on? What's going on, fellas? How's everybody feeling tonight?
Doing good.
Yes, sir. You know how we doing over here. Freeze my ass off, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah, it's cold, isn't it?
Doing good on my side.
So we got Blunt Thumb on the panel tonight. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Blunt Thumb, but he's a very knowledgeable organic grower, and we're more than honored to have him on the Trichome Life Grower Stream panel tonight. So I guess we'll start off with Blunt Thumb, bro. Why don't you kind of you know, tell us about yourself, about, you know, your growing methods, and, you know, brief description about your YouTube channel and how everybody can find you, about Instagram and all of that.
Word. Basically, I've been growing for about 5 years now. First 2 were outdoor. After that, I started indoor. Basically 3 years indoor, been all organic. At this point, mostly no-till and Korean natural farming methods. Use the sub-irrigated planters. Yeah, that's generally the basis of it. Starting to want to experiment a bit more with hash after seeing some of the shit Highroot's been doing and some other people. So, gonna be fucking with that a little bit more. Yeah, just Blunt Thumb on YouTube and on that's pretty much it.
Word. That's what's up, man. Well, we're looking forward to you know, hearing about, you know, all the knowledge that you have, man. You know, just from our conversations alone. I really can't wait, you know, until you can kind of delve deep into your methodology and stuff, because I know your knowledge is immense. So you know, I'm really glad that you're on the panel with us now, and you know, like I said, looking forward to the knowledge, man.
Word, thank you. I'm still just learning like the rest of us, though.
Sub up to his Instagram, and you said you got YouTube, right, bro?
Yeah.
Sub up to his.
Yeah, should be starting to upload some stuff this week.
Word. So you guys can get up current on his videos and his setup and everything like that. We got Hashmaster Highroot over there getting it in.
Mad scientist.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Mr. Joshua Steensland? How you feeling
How's
tonight,
it
brother?
going? Just making some.
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here.
DC Pharma, how you feeling, brother? I just seen you just stepped in the building. What's going down?
What's going on, everybody? Love the panel tonight. Chat about to get live.
Hell yeah, man.
Very excited for tonight's live stream.
Me too, bro. Me too. I'm sure you guys are more than familiar with DC Pharma, man. Fucking awesome grower from the DC area, man, growing some fire. That's all I hear from everybody. Like, anytime I talk about DC Pharma, they always talk about he growing that fire, man. So shout out to DC Pharma, man. Shout out. Real talk. Hopefully we can get my boy Bay Bread Genetics on the panel tonight, man. We got a new Trichome chaser, another new Trichome chaser member, Bay Bread Genetics. A West Coast grower. He's also a breeder. He's growing some fire genetics. He's on Instagram, about to get his YouTube fired back up. So he'll be blessing the panel tonight with his presence and his knowledge as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Feeling good tonight, man. Good tonight. What you got? What's the smoking on tonight?
That's why I was going to ask the panel what they smoking on tonight. Yeah, the panel and the chat.
This right here, I mixed together some Kona Sunset and Gorilla Glue flour and pressed it together and got this. But
Wow.
I taste more of the Kona than the Gorilla Glue.
Wow. That shit looks beautiful.
Yeah, man, I'm hitting up on that Trichome Chaser exclusive
Oh,
tonight.
wait.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait.
Got a little wax, a little keys going.
What's the rest of the panel smoking?
Bubba Kush flower from my last cycle. Still puffing on it.
Ooh, I love Bubba Kush. That's one of my fucking favorite strains, bro.
Yeah, as the pre-98,
Yeah, that bubble.
it was nice and trike heavy. It was good.
Yeah, I got a little bit of that too. A couple, probably 5 grams left from like 2-3 cycles ago.
Smoking on that 94 blueberry.
94 blueberry. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's like legendary right there, man.
That
That's
shit
a
is
legendary
nice.
thing, man.
Yeah.
That's I get excited when I hear about the old school blueberry, man. For real. I definitely am very familiar with those blueberry muffin terps.
Dude, for real. She does it.
Bro, the
I
first
love her.
time I ever smelled blueberry, my mom was smoking it. I walked into the house fucking after school, bro. I swear to God, I thought she was cooking blueberry muffins. I went to the oven to open the oven, and the fucking oven, there was nothing in the oven. Swear. And then my mom was in the room blazing some fucking blueberries, bro. And it was like blueberry muffin turps. What you blowing on, DC? Some of that no-till's finest, I'm sure.
Nah, man. Actually, man, I got some smoke, man. I don't know what it is. I was gifted to it by my good buddy of mine, Toast Eastwood. Anybody in the DC area, man, look him up. Good artist. Definitely look him up, man. His music is fire. But like I said, I was gifted to it. I don't know what it is, but it's some yeah.
That's what's up, man. I love gifted smoke, man. I love it. Especially when it comes from your crew. You know what I'm saying? And you could smoke with your homies is growing. I love it.
Definitely.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, I guess fucking well, you know what I'm saying? I guess I've started off and kind of update everybody on the channel. I made a video the other day. I updated everybody on the 2K flower room, and we're like right now coming up on the end of week 7, so we're about to be pulling that room down pretty soon. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that room reset, just because of, you know, like the whole situation with the males popping up and stuff like that, and just only having 6 plants in a 2,000 watt flower room. Just, you know, kind of excited to get it reset. Next run though, in that room, we're gonna be running some Dositos, gifted to me by Smokey Lot. He gifted me a cut of Dositos and a cut of Sunset Sherbet. So definitely shout outs to my boy Smokey Lot. We're also gonna be running the animal cookies, the ocean grown cut of animal cookies, and the key lime cookies cut of the dark helmet. I get confused now. I got dark helmet, dark plasma. So yeah, that room's gonna be reset, and then we're gonna be doing that grow. So it's gonna be Dositos, Sunset Sherbet, animal cookies, key lime cookies run. Really stoked about that run. The scum plasma room is looking really good. We just ended week 3 on that. We're just coming into week 4 on that. So yeah, right now I'm shooting some strain review videos for the dark helmet, the key lime cookies, pheno with that, and also another strain review for the Spartan Kush by bred by PH Nerd. I have a real nice nugget that left that I want to kind of show you guys what the Spartan Kush looks like, real up close and personal. So trying to hit you guys with some more content soon. So yeah, that's what's going on from Monster OG. So why don't we move down the line, and DC Farming, why don't you update everybody, bruh?
Well, man, I'm just getting myself together right now, man. Getting ready for trim drill. Making sure I got all my scissors and everything right. Loving it and hating it at the same time, because it's all me, man. Everything y'all see on the videos, on IG, Instagram, my whole grow, man, that's all me, one man operation, man. And that's how it's gonna be all the way to the end, man. I'm not gonna have no trim party or none of that, man. It's just gonna be all me. So I'm just, like I said, I'm gearing up on my scissors. I'm getting ready. Got my drinks together. Got my music together. So, you know, like I said, I'm putting all my stuff together. I'm ready, man. Got my playlist going. That's about it on this end, y'all.
Yeah, I'm a long time from trimming.
Think we might have lost Monster there. Who up next then? How about you, Hybrid? What you got going?
Right now, just been making a bunch of bubble and rosin, and just getting my garden back on track from being out of town and traveling a bunch, and finally caught up on everything. Got some Mendo Breath and Gorilla Glue and mid chocolate chip and Afghani going into flower in a couple weeks. So I'll finally be caught up there. It'll be a whole monocrop. So I've been doing perpetual for a while in the same room. But so now I'll have one monocrop in a couple months. So that's about it.
Mr. Can't Wait Till It's Legal.
Yo, man, you know me. I'm always trying to do something, bro. Yeah, I got some new additions to my garden. I don't know if everybody checked seen it on the video, but I got some new additions. Went up and saw my homeboy Monster. Picked up some sour diesel. So I got some sour diesel. I got a Vader OG. So I finally got me some ocean grown in the garden. I got a Monster cut from that Monster OG. You know, so everything going good. My little homemade DIY DWC is going pretty good. I got roots coming out of them now. My HSO Blue Dream, man, that root ball is getting massive on that one, man. So I'm really excited to see how that go. I'm gonna be taking cuts here probably by Monday. And but yeah, everything's going pretty good. My Phlonodrain, they're in flower right now. I flipped them over. It'll be a week come Monday. So yeah, everything's going pretty good.
Word. That's what's up. Well, I think but Joshua is the last one with do a garden update, and then we'll roll right in to the vapor pressure deficit topic. So why don't we let my boy Joshua take it from there?
Hey, what's happening? Hey, thanks a lot for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Most definitely. Thanks for coming on, bro.
No, I think it's a good thing. I like this kind of open source information. It's really good, a good thing. So well, a lot of you guys have seen my channel. It's we're doing really well. We're a couple weeks away from harvest now, and the fade is hard. Everything's looking really yellow and just like it should be, and it's sugaring up good. So we're happy. I'm in my third cycle in these particular beds, and but we just do fresh water only. That's all we do during the whole cycle. I don't brew any teas. I don't do any of that. I inoculated when I first got the beds. I inoculated with OG BioWar, but I've got healthy earthworm worm colonies in there, and a lot of the actions just happen with the living cover crop and whatnot. So I'm just trying to show people that you don't need to you can take a minimalist approach and get really high quality product in the end.
That's what's up. You say you got an earthworm colony growing in your garden?
Yeah, I got a couple different kinds. I've got the red wigglers, which are real popular composting worms, and then Alabama jumpers. And they exist in a little bit different layers of the soil structure. One just rides kind of the surface between the mulch layer and the top of the soil, and that's what does a lot of the breaking down and the composting. And then it just deposits fresh earthworm castings continuously. So you know, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. That's what I always wanted to try earthworms in the garden, man. I always wanted to try it, man. Hey, Joshua, somebody wanted to know how long you've been growing.
I've been growing steady since 1998.
What's up?
Yeah, so I've run the gamut. I used to own a couple brick and mortar garden shops, and one in Medford and one in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And I've done deep water culture, hydroponic. I used to own a current culture system. I've done it all, and I just kind of fell into no-till after getting dealing with nutrient issues and lockout issues, and reading about super soil, and then moved on from super soil into the no-till philosophy, which really kind of fit for me. And I've been doing that about 1.5 years now, and it's just, I'm never turning back.
That's what's up.
Soil mix are you using?
I'm getting a mix from up here in Washington. It's from Keep It Simple Farms. It's basically like your regular Coots mix, except this one has a biochar, the charged biochar. So it's soaked in fish emulsion, and I think it's 10% of my mix is the biochar. So it is pretty heavy.
Hush yourself, I'm jealous.
I know that place. They're pretty good.
Yeah, man.
I used to order amendments from them before Build the Soil came around.
Right. Yeah, they're a great place and really good. Tad's a really good source of information, and he's another one of those open source guys that'll help anybody out.
Him and his father too.
Right.
We was talking, man. Y'all got us we got all these no-till gardeners in the crew now, man. Y'all kind of making us want to switch.
It will be the best thing you can do.
I know, man.
I'm telling you, it will be the best thing you could do, man. It's an eye opener, man. It really is.
It'll make you a lazy gardener too.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about switching over that, man, and then still running my DWCs though. That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Yeah,
if I can find
it's definitely worth
giving it a shot.
If anything, it's definitely worth giving it a shot.
You could give sips a try, because that'll make you water like more often, like every 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard you guys, and then
all you gotta do is pour water down a tube, though, and that's it. So if you got a watering can, it's easy, like for the plants in the back, where you can reach and just pour it down the tube.
Yeah.
Just have a little drain at the bottom, like the drain.
I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
Hey, real quick, guys, I wanted to welcome Bay Bread Genetics in the house real quick before we get too deep into topics tonight. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, what's going on? You got?
Everything's good, man. How you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I'm just happy to be on the Trichome Chaser, man. You know what I mean?
Man, glad to have you, bro. Glad to have you on the panel tonight, man. So for those who are maybe not familiar with you, why don't you kind of let the people know about yourself and you know what kind of style of growing you like to grow with and how long you've been growing, and you know, just a little update on what you're doing over there.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm from the Bay Area, you know, San Francisco, California, and I've been doing this since about 2000, so I got almost 20 years in. But you know, I started off deep water culture. That was cool. Then I moved on hydroponics with the rock wool. That was nice. But now I'm just dealing with cocoa, man. I went to dirt. I mean, I pretty much touched all bases of the growing areas. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm dibbling and dabbling with a lot of breeding right now, and I'm just enjoying that right now. You know what I mean? I just like the pheno hunting, finding the nice types of phenos, dealing with different flavors, and just trying to find some new genetics out there. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Trying to find them new terp combinations, huh?
Yes, sir. That's what it's about.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we love the terps on this side, man. So you're definitely in the perfect place, man. The trikes and terps, that's what we about over here, man.
I just want to, give my my hand in the. I got a wealth of knowledge, man, just to give it from my standpoint of view.
Most definitely. I mean, I kind of, I'm familiar with you a little bit, and I know you're a vet in the game, man, and I feel privileged to have you on the panel, man, to share your knowledge with us and all the people in the chat. And I think it's going to be, good for the community, man, that, more people we're all coming together and just trying to, help each other out, spread the knowledge, spread the information. And,
Yeah, well, that's what having a collective is about, man. Everybody got a collective effort.
Yeah,
Everybody
man. Spread the love.
And share it. There it goes. Share it, man.
Spreading the love. That's what's up, man. Well, like I said, I'm glad to have you on the panel tonight, man. And feel free to drop some gems on us anytime, man. Don't be shy to cut us off or cut in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are on the panel. So,
Most def. I'm here, man.
So I think the first topic we had tonight was the vapor pressure deficit topic, right? We kind of wanted to get a little bit better understanding about the whole VPD thing and talk about the benefits and stuff like that. I'm not too really hands-on knowledgeable about it. I've done a lot of researching and reading. A lot of growers that I follow, they do follow vapor pressure deficit. But we also have a grower tonight on the panel, Joshua Steensland. He's, very knowledgeable about this topic. So I kind of wanted him to head off this topic and have him tell us about his experiences using the vapor pressure deficit in his garden.
Okay, yeah, I know that I've done a little research like you, and I haven't perfected that style of growing yet, but I have seen the differences with a higher humidity level and a higher temperature. I have seen a lot of differences.
Word.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I really never really understood the concept or even realized that vapor pressure deficit was a factor until I bought a really nice Daikin 3-ton air conditioner, a mini split, and it completely dried out my room. And when before my rooms were just kind of actively cooled by the ambient air or a little tiny portable in a tent. And so just kind of close enough to get by all those years. When I got a really good air conditioner that dried the air out, I was down to 35% humidity with 80 degree temperature. And my vapor pressure deficit was too great, and the plants just basically didn't grow. And if you scroll back through my YouTube videos, it's some of my first super soil grow in little containers, and you could see is the mango kush. They were tiny little stunted bushes, but big fat nugs. But the growth was stunted because my vapor pressure deficit was off. And learning about the importance of humidity and what it does to the plant, I can get into my basic understanding of that. And you got to think about with humidity is if there's a lot of humidity in your room, that's atmospheric pressure in a sense on your plants, on the leaf surface. So if you've got really high humidity, 80-90%, that's a lot of moisture in the air that's putting down pressure on your leaf surface. Inversely, if you're really dry and really hot, it's like a vacuum for moisture, and it will literally suck the moisture out of your plants via the soil, and it's a stressful situation. And this causes the stomata on the leaf, which is what processes the CO2, and it's actually crucial for photosynthesis. If your VPD is off, either too great or too small, that stomata is going to shrink up and close, and you're not going to process CO2 efficiently. So that's why my plants were experiencing a really stunted growth rate, and they didn't take off at all because they were running at 25% efficiency. On top of that, if you're adding CO2, you're kind of like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because if your vapor pressure deficit's off and you're feeding CO2, it's not even processing it correctly. So you need to back it up and get an understanding of what vapor pressure deficit really is, and then your plants will really start processing the CO2 as efficiently as possible.
So
I hope that made sense. Yeah.
So what is it? I mean, so it kicks in the stomata to go into like overdrive or something like that?
Yeah, it opens it up for maximum efficiency. So if you've got a balance, if your plant's not either struggling to retain moisture or struggling to fight it off from its environment, then it'll be able to run optimally. And so the first thing that it'll sacrifice is that stomata, because that's engine of photosynthesis. And if things are off, it's going to slow that engine down as to not stress the plant out more. So if your environmental conditions are prime and perfect, that stomata will open up and be like, all right, let's go. And it'll start processing CO2 at its most efficient.
Got it. So what do you suggest that the ppms of your CO2 should be when you're running a VPD?
The common rate is 1,500 parts per million for max production, and I don't see any problem with that. For my own sake, I only do like 3 times normal atmospheric range. So normal atmospheric parts per million for CO2 is about 350 ambient. I try to run around 900 to 1,000, and really the main reason I do that is because I go through a lot less CO2, and I've got to run to Oxarc a lot less. So that's the only reason I do that. But you could take it up there, and the going rate is 1,500 parts per million.
Yeah, I got a few friends that what they do is they match their ppms of their food to their ppms of CO2.
Right. That's a very common practice. Yeah, and that's a safe way to do it.
As like a hash maker, are you seeing any difference in trichome production or development at all? Like yield decline, increase, or color, or trichome, head size, anything like that?
Well, to be honest with you, I started following the VPD right around the same time I switched to no-till beds. So it's really hard to tell whether it was the vapor pressure deficit or the no-till beds. But ever since I made the change to the beds, everything that comes out of them has just been stellar. It's been trichome like I've never seen before. And, so it's hard to say. I mean, imagine it's a combination of the two. But what I have noticed is just vigorous growth when following the VPD chart.
Okay. Yeah, I'm struggling just to be at 50% with the humidifier and open reservoir, and it's just, yeah. But I run passive air, or not passive, but I have an intake and an exhaust.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm not adding CO2 right now. I'm just doing fresh air. But I have a worm bin. I have a bunch of worm bins in a adjoining room. So I mean, those are out subtle gases, but nowhere near anything I know.
Right.
But a couple of years ago, I was growing mushrooms in there, and I used to have a CAP monitor, but it broke, and it was measuring like about 800 ppms just from the mushrooms growing in the same room.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So Josh, so do you run like the same humidity, same temperature the whole way through, or do you change it depending on the different weeks of the bloom cycle?
That's a good question. I try to keep it the same. As I get to the last 2 weeks, I still get a little nervous, and so I'll back it up from 65 to 70% humidity, 55, just to start the natural dry out process, almost like you were talking about earlier. And I just mainly do that for myself because I'm still, after so many years of growing, fearing powdery mildew and bud rot and all these other things. I'm still really preconditioned to kind of be hyper vigilant to that. So I do back it up, but I don't believe it's necessary.
I was just going to say, running that high of a humidity, man, you're running a great risk of bud rot and PM. But what are your temperatures at when you're running a high humidity range like that?
Basically, what I try to keep it at 78 degrees and 68 to 70% humidity, and that's where I try to be the whole time. And then my night cycles, it's 65 to 68 degrees, and it drops down to about 65% humidity with my DHUE. And I just try to keep it as close to that the whole way through.
And one thing that I have learned about trying to run a vapor pressure deficit in your flower room, or I mean in your garden, your environment has to be like fucking tits, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't run fucking high humidity if you have a problem with powdery mildew or anything like that. Like, your environment has to be dialed in for sure. You know what I'm saying? This is something you do like after your garden's dialed in. You're not having a problem with mold, powdery mildew, or bugs or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the most valid points I've heard when regarding vapor pressure deficit. I do want to touch on powdery mildew though, and this is probably not going to make me very popular, but look, man, this is my take on powdery mildew, and I've kind of hinted at it in the past. And powdery mildew, in my mind, is nature's cleanup crew. It's like, you know how the flu will kill a sick person or somebody with a compromised immune system, but the rest of us are fine. I think it's this. You got to think of powdery mildew the same way. If you've got powdery mildew in your room, you have a genetics problem. Okay, and so it can be exacerbated by environmental conditions, but I'll just say this. When it's 70% humidity, that's just the average. That's where my meter is reading it. I've got buds that sit right above my humidifier that drip water and don't develop powdery mildew and don't develop bud rot. And then I had it with my Granddaddy Purple, and I had it with the Bubba Kush. So that's a testament to genetics and room cleanliness, right? You can't have a bunch of funky shit floating around, but if your plant lipids are on point, it's like armor. Powdery mildew, you can introduce powdery mildew and they won't catch hold. So a lot of people that are fighting powdery mildew, you're not really, it's genetics. You need to start with different, newer, fresher genetics, or you got, somebody's seed that they crossed, that like a one cross batch, they just crossed their shit one time and are selling beans, and that's happening a lot.
I totally agree with that because of I've tested that out before. I've had implant, another plant, and the one that didn't have it bought it. So yeah, I totally agree with that. It's the genes.
I personally disagree. Genes is definitely a factor, but I've had cuts that I've had friends run and they've gotten PM and I haven't, and my plants were kept with VPD all the way through. The environment was more on point than theirs was, but they ended up with PM and no sign of it on mine. Even when I brought a cut back to my place that had it from theirs, it didn't spread to anything at my place.
Well, with fluctuations of humidity and temperature, you can create an environment that'll develop PM. But if you keep it at a constant, it should be fine.
And there's definitely PM strains that will thrive at low humidity as well.
Yep, I think that's definitely plays a major role in being able to run vapor pressure deficit successfully. And I'm not even, versed in that, but playing with those borderline, you know, those humidity ranges where powdery mildew can become a problem, you definitely want to guarantee that you're dealing with strong genetics, or at least, building up the systemic immunities inside of your plant to where you'll be safe. But that's definitely a major key factor, I would say.
Yeah, because I mean, if you have a plant with weak genes, it's going to catch everything you got. You know what I mean? It's going to catch everything.
For sure.
If it's in the room, you know what I mean. If you got something with weak genes, like Josh said, something that's not been stabilized, only crossed once, you haven't back crossed it a few times, and stabilized the genotypes, it's going to be susceptible to a lot of things. You know what I mean? That's just bottom line. As far as I've seen with my research and what I've done, I've seen catching PM is from weak genetics and a bad environment.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, you got them too. You got some problems on your hands.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of things for sure.
I also think climate of location can play a factor. Because when I lived on the mountain, I would get PM once in a while. But ever since I've lived in the desert, I've never had PM a single time.
I bet you didn't.
Yeah, but it's like 20% humidity outside all the time, except when it rains, it'll jump up to like 90% for a day. And then the next day it's 12%.
So Josh, so from a beginner, from a newbie's perspective, somebody who doesn't really have too much knowledge about vapor pressure deficit or what it takes to be able to run this successfully, how would you kind of implement this from scratch? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are some of the tools that you need, and what are the guidelines that you follow to be able to introduce this into your system successfully? What would you recommend?
Who, me or Josh? I think for me, I wouldn't even try it as a beginner. I would try to, better my.
Well, not totally from just a beginner to vapor pressure deficit. I mean, I think we've all established that this is like an intermediate type of technique. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody who's never ran it before, like, what are some things that you definitely need to be able to run this successfully in your garden?
Well, I'll jump in. I think having a way to accurately measure your humidity with some kind of I've got an iponic, and it has a sensor that kind of measures everything. So it sits over my canopy, and then it controls the humidification and the dehumidification in the room % variable with variance. And so having automation like that will help a lot. Or you can really just kind of incrementally increase your humidity. There's nothing that's saying you have to jump right in and jump your humidity up 70 to 70% or whatever, like just incrementally dose it up. And those depending on the size of your room, you could do well in a tent with one of those cool mist humidifiers and a little simple humidistat you could get at the grow shop for $50 or $100, and that would be enough to do it. And start in a veg tent where that high humidity is tolerated. There's no rules saying you have to just all of a sudden just flood your bloom room with 70% humidity and freak yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the tools. You should have a humidifier. And you should also to measure. So you need all the tools, and if you're really going to get into VPD, you need to really do some research.
So what about because like a lot of people that I know that run the VPD, like I see them posting a lot of pictures of like graphs and stuff like that they use to like measure the patterns and stuff like that. Do you guys use anything like that? Do you guys pay attention to the patterns?
I did it first.
Sorry, guys.
I did it first just just to kind of see where my temperature fluctuations were in the room and where my humidity needed to be to kind of be in that sweet spot according to that chart that we've all seen, right? And so once I've got there and my room is stable enough to where it only drifts 1 or 2 degrees hour by hour. And so I don't really need to look at the chart no more. I kind of got it in my head.
Okay, good. Because the reason why I ask is just because some information that I've got just doing research on this topic. A lot of it leads me to believe that your vapor pressure deficit is, it can be different basically from garden to garden and from plant to plant, from strain to strain. So a lot of people who I've seen that are running this system, they're definitely paying attention to the patterns that are appearing, especially during the lights off cycle and during the lights on cycle as well, just to make sure that everything's dialed in. So I'm curious, to what's the importance of finding the pattern? Is it just basically so you can find that perfect sweet spot?
What do you mean when you say finding the pattern?
Like finding a pattern. Okay, I'm trying to find this comment that I don't know if you guys are familiar with Smart Bee controllers.
No.
You guys know about the Smart Bee
Yeah.
controllers?
Nah.
I think I saw Cuban talking about him a while ago or somebody, but yeah, I think I do.
Okay, they left me a comment on the picture that I posted the other day. So he says there are different sweet spots based on what time in the cycle you are in and what you are trying to achieve. Each plant and grower is different in needs and wants. I compare our plants with bodybuilders. They need to gain muscle mass and look good quickly. In order to achieve this, their environment has to be right. They have to have a solid meal plan, feeding multiple times a day in order to deliver nutrients and energy at a rate in which the growth and environment is driving them. We want our plants to do the same. Vapor pressure deficit is a tool that at different levels creates different amounts of atmospheric pressure on the plants to steer them into a pattern of growth. One way it can be used is to slow or speed up food and water intake. Another way is to support the plant's needs as they change and grow through their bloom cycle, blah, blah, blah. So here's the juicy part. So he says, because I asked him, he said something about a sweet spot. So I said, well, how do you, find a sweet spot for, that room or whatever using vapor pressure deficit if it's different for every room and every strain and every plant? So he says, I can say that the plants I like to grow tend to like it a little warmer and with a little bit more humidity in the first 2 weeks of bloom typically. The plants are not really drinking a huge amount of water, so this is where a vapor pressure deficit of 8.0 to 11 or 77 degrees through 79 degrees and 65 through 75% humidity would be appropriate. I guess 8 to 11 is like the conversion for where you need to be at, basically, on the chart. And then he says, then as flowering progresses through weeks 3 and 4, I like to taper up the vapor pressure deficit to 10 through 13.5. I lower the temps to between 75 degrees to 77 degrees and 55% to 65% humidity. Then in weeks 5 and 6, I hit 13 to 15.5 on the scale. I continue to lower the temps between weeks 7, 8, and 9. I keep the vapor pressure deficit in the same range, just a little on the cooler side. So I guess he's basically trying to tell me how he runs his vapor pressure deficit, but that still didn't answer my question as to, how do you find the sweet spot for every room? Because according to Smart Bee controllers, the vapor pressure deficit is supposed to be different in every room.
No, that sounds about right. It should be in every room because every room is going to have a different environmental condition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds to me like
The chart
he's got.
I have on my screen.
So he says in our graphs, he said he keeps a chart of graphs, and you can see the patterns emerge at different VPDs. The dry down interval is either faster or slower and can be manipulated. This is because VPD goes up, so does the pressure on the plants to pull water through the roots and out through the leaves.
I look at it like this. It's kind of just like your feeding schedule. Once you get it dialed in, everything goes right. You have to feed a certain type of nutrient, or, you know, for the no-till guys, you have your certain things that release at a certain time, make the plant do its most optimal performance. I believe it's the same thing with VPD. You have to have it dialed in just like anything else.
Yeah, I will say this though, that it sounds like this guy's got a very complex system, and it doesn't have to be as such. So I don't, like, if the people are thinking about VPD, that they shouldn't let that scare them away, because it's not as complex as that. I mean, I've gotten by very well with just keeping it in one window and observing my plants, because ultimately that's your best source of information, is the data you get from your eyes. So you know, I like what he's saying. It makes sense, and he's got a very scientific approach to it, and data is king, you know. But at some level, you know, it can be done more simply, if that makes sense.
So what do you suggest? Do you suggest keeping it at one level of humidity and one level of temperature the whole blooming cycle, or what? What do you suggest, Josh?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm getting really good results doing it that way. So I try to not really add any temperature fluctuation. If I can go my whole cycle with it pegged at 78 degrees when the lights are on, you know, given the warm up period, then I'll consider that a great success, right? And so because then I'm not really worried about anything else. Like my room is so automated that, you know, I don't need that data anymore. I can just go into my room and see when the plants are doing good.
Okay.
Like I was saying, I just follow this chart.
Mm-hmm.
In the green spot generally, I'm usually a little bit on the low side, like right about here where my mouse is showing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just follow this chart and you should be good for the most part, from my experience at least.
Yeah,
and what is
I
that?
concur.
What is the chart?
That's
You could just Google VPD chart and it should show up in Google Images.
So those conversions that he was giving me, bro, like when he was saying 8 to 11, that's that green range in the middle. That's kind of like what,
and then saying like 13.5, which could be down here or wherever it ends up being on the chart. I don't remember what temperatures and humidities he was saying, but
yeah,
it didn't show on how it would arrange for each.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to do a
and
little bit of
humidity.
research. You have to do a little research to find out certain things about the VPD before you really start using it accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like at least basically, like where your ranges are optimal, and
Right.
and then you know what is it going to take? What type of equipment is it going to take to be able to achieve those ranges of temperatures and humidities? But it gets real deep though, man, because what I'm seeing is people are really like keeping tracks on these patterns, like these controllers that they have nowadays. You can get graph readouts basically twice a day, you know, once when your lights come on and then another time when your lights go off. And those readouts will give you like a graph of how your temperatures and your humidities are peaking and spiking throughout, you know, the different light cycles. And then that information, you kind of you use that information to, I guess, I mean, I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not an expert on this shit. You feel me? I'm trying to like understand it more, but I'm just using like my basic logic for what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like it's a lot more important than it seems in the beginning. That's what I'm taking from it, because it gets like really pretty technical.
That's what that's by saying you need to do research before you really like get into VPD all the way.
I
If
think
you want to act right.
I mean, you can make anything technical though.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
Hard stove into. Sounds like that's somebody who has some sort of product. It sounded like you were saying. I might have missed that or misheard that, but
Yeah.
it sounds like they're really in depth into what they're doing. From everybody else that I've heard do it, they just followed this chart basically. At whatever type, depending on where you live, you might need a dehumidifier and a air conditioner, or you might need a heater and a humidifier. You know, depends on where you are. But for your local climate and what you have to change it to, and follow this chart, and you should be basically good with it.
or you might need 3 humidifiers.
Yeah, it depends. Well, have you looked into those the supersonic discs from Build a
Yeah,
Soil?
yeah, I checked it out. I tried to find some reviews on them, and I couldn't find any. I wasn't sure how those worked, and because it said 1 disc,
Started
2 discs,
using it.
6 discs. So, I mean, I could just set up another little reservoir and just put it in there. But for, I guess
Yeah, Pedro showed a video of it like 2 or 3 days ago. It looked like it was working pretty well.
I got a lot of videos to catch up on. But
I had to step away real quick, but did you guys answer the question? Somebody had asked, I think his name is I forget the brother's name, but he was Stink Bomb. He asked about VPD when your lights are off. Did you guys answer that question?
Well, you
Just stay in that green zone.
Well, you don't have to really. VPD doesn't apply at night because VPD is mainly is helping your photosynthesis. So you don't really need to follow the chart at night because nothing's photosynthesizing. So in my mind, you just need to keep your humidity down, so you're fighting off that excess moisture.
See, that is the information that I've got directly that goes against what you said, Josh. And I don't know anything, so I'm just sharing the information that I've collected. You know what I'm saying? Because I've asked that question, and the response that I have is that your VPD needs to be controlled during your lights off and your lights on cycle.
Yeah, I've never heard that, but that doesn't mean that's not true. My basic understanding was that it was to aid photosynthesis. There is some pressure and moisture wicking that happens with vapor pressure deficit, so that could be what they're referring to. My main concern with vapor pressure deficit is the ability to maximize photosynthesis.
Well, on top of that, if you got to keep the temperatures and humidity consistent, because that's what will really fight off any chance of PM or any type of bud rot or any type of other pest molds or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, it seems like this is like I mean, I know the information hasn't been widely available, especially in the cannabis growing community, as far as we are now with it. It seems like it's a relatively newer technique that people were, using to try to dial their rooms in. And I think a lot of it, it's just really up to the grower. To me, I think like it just depends on what you're trying to achieve by using vapor pressure deficit, and because it's just like such a wide range of results. Like you got some people who are fucking harvesting a pound of light, and then you got some people who are harvesting 4 pounds of light. So you know what I'm saying?
genetics,
Yeah.
I don't think genetics is 100% like, or even like that.
Well, okay. Grow the same size Girl Scout cookies, plant next to a super lemon haze, and see which one yields more.
Right. Has to do with everything. Put all the things in the perspective. It's the genetics, your environment, what you're using as nutrients, your BPD. It has to do with everything. All the factors come and play then.
Word. Well, I'm definitely interested. I've definitely got some more research to do about it. You know, just because I'm interested in dialing in my rooms is, you know, is much as I have control over. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like VPD, it really, if you follow the chart, it can really unlock some really good results. And maybe, you know, a lot of growers may think that you know, they're missing out on something. You know, they maybe have, you know, um, kind of mastered a lot of the other aspects of growing and stuff like that, and they maybe feel like they're missing something. I think VPD, there's something about it that's just really intriguing as far as keeping your plant, like being able to manipulate the plants into a perfect, optimal, thriving environment. You know what I'm saying? More than just putting multi-spectrum lighting and keeping the temperature in a certain range.
Also, I think it's somewhat new to all of us because we all came up on the Jorge instruction. I'll keep your room at 30%, 75 degrees.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That's why it's
So,
so.
I mean, we had that drilled into our head, you know?
Yeah,
We all had the Bible, we all got his DVDs, and we followed that shit to a T until we discovered better shit.
that's what I'm
And I think
saying.
that's part of it, yeah.
Long, like, yeah.
I've never bought his book, man. I've never
Oh,
bought
I
his
didn't
book.
buy it either. My buddy bought it, and I just borrowed it from him.
I ain't even read his book, man. I got Ed Rosenthal's book, but I never did buy Jose. I never bought that dude's book.
Jorge,
I never did read it.
Man,
I mean, I was watching a lot of his videos on YouTube, and I'll be honest, man, some of this stuff, and I know some people like the dude, and I know he's done a lot,
Well,
but
the thing
I'll
is,
be honest, man, some of the stuff I was like, hell no.
well, yeah, well, that book, actually, a lot of it was a collection of stuff written by various growers, and that's why, like, if you read it, it's a very contradictory book because the hydro side appeals to the hydro guys and the soil side appeals to the soil guys, you know, so, and it contradicts each other, so it's not a good book in my opinion. But we all came up on that book, so we thought 30% is what we wanted, you know, so the VPD is somewhat new after, you know, almost 20 years of growing the old way.
yeah, it like directly contradicts fucking how we've been raised to grow. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I was raised to grow with low humidities and flowering. Like that's what you're shooting for. And then, you know what I'm saying? Now, like I'm learning, well, you need higher humidities in flowering. It's important for the flowers. You know what I'm saying? For the developing flowers to have, you know, higher humidity and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I think we'll definitely come back to this topic, you know, soon. I think we definitely need to compile maybe some more information from people who are really fucking anal about their vapor pressure deficit and get some like real time fucking data analysis and see what these guys are doing with all of this data that they're gathering and stuff with these charts and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. We need somebody who sees it a little bit more in the area.
Yeah, most definitely. Maybe we can get smart beat controllers on here one week. That'd be fucking dope. I think he
I was
took the
trying to get
time
in
to
touch
write
with Jay Blizz. I know Jay Blizz, he does a lot. So I was trying to get in touch with him to or anything he wanted to add to it because I know he does a lot.
Well, maybe we can
And
get next time we revisit the topic and he can share his you know, word.
And I know, you know, there's anything in growing what I'm gathering from VPD. I don't think I will ever try it because I don't have the time or patience for it. But I can see how it could benefit I can see how it could benefit a person's garden. I think it's a really good thing to do. It just for me personally, it's just not something that I'm interested in trying right now.
Yeah.
If I had the time and the extra space to experiment with it, hell yeah, I'd do it. Do it in a heartbeat.
And Oregon Bud Man, I know VPD isn't new. It's just somewhat new to some people because we come from an era of no forums where we had to learn off each other in paperback books and in the back of hydro shops and shit. So it was just hand-me-down knowledge we got back then. So we were drilled in with that whorehead shit. So
Yeah, I think a lot of this information is coming from like a lot of the overseas like commercial agricultural growers that are using fucking fully automated greenhouses and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe even some laboratory grade indoor gardens and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like a more of a commercial side thing.
Yeah.
I say we take a cheers and then we go ahead to the next topic.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
How's it going, guys?
Cheers, everybody.
Blazing tough. I hear lighters flicking. And bongs bubbling. I done smoked my blunt already. I done smoked the whole blunt already. I think I'm gonna of this dark helmet fucking 73 micron ice flag. So I think the next topic that we were gonna go over tonight is kind of like comparing all the different like organic methods. It seems like there's a few different organic methods out there nowadays, and you know, I think it will be a good topic for the organic guys to go over and kind of compare all the different methods and kind of give us some information about each one and maybe, you know, the strong points and the weak points of each one. What you said, guys?
Well, I started my very first grow I was growing in my backyard in '96, and I was feeding it some green stuff in a bottle. My older brother's buddy gave me. He said, "Your plants need this," and that was the first shit I ever grew. But then I apprenticed to like a bigger grower a few years, like right out of high school, and he was growing botanic hair, all aeroponics, like a 500 plant grow. And I was basically doing all the grunt work in his stuff, trimming with him. And, you know, I got kicked down a percentage. And from that, we were growing like small flowers, fill and drain kits. We were growing pretty good stuff. We were just running all botanic hair. And, it was decent for what we thought at the time. And then, later on, and then I ran aeroponics doing the same shit for about 8 years. Doing scrogs and there wasn't much flavor. There was some color, decent yields, but eventually I switched to no-till. I was actually recycling my soil before I knew what no-till was, just to save money. And once I started doing no-till, I started seeing just really greasy scissor hash the very first time I trimmed, like greasier than I've ever seen before. And just the terps were just on some strains, they're just making my eyes water while I was trimming. And it was great, and I've gotten better hash with it, and just even as I further progressed into like KNF and everything, and I even saw better terps coming out of that. So it was and I'm getting the best hash I've ever had too. So, it's been great. Some strains, the growth is a little slower, but others is just as fast as when I was running hydro or running bottled newts. But the difference I can say is with bottled newts, you can grow big plants in like a little 2-gallon pot, where with like no-till, you need a lot of root space, like 15 gallons minimum. Maybe 10 gallons if you're doing sips. So, but to produce good yields. So I've been much happier running no-till and probiotics than any of them. And, it's been great.
Where I did a similar route. I started out with the general hydro, and then after that, moved straight to the biobiz for the first well, technically organic run, but whatever. And then moved from that to the no-till, just like plain coot soil, no, just water only. And then a few runs after that, started implementing the Korean natural farming inputs. And since that, it's really taken off in flavor, yield especially, trichome coverage, everything.
When you
And
say
here,
Korean,
my
you're
little
saying bokashi? Is that what you're talking about?
well, Korean natural farming.
Yeah, Korean natural farming is like
Bokashi is one technique of like or one ferment typist.
well, bokashi technically isn't part of Korean natural farming. It's really similar to the IMO process or indigenous microorganisms, but it's from I think Russian culture or something like that, some Nordic place.
So what would you guys group the main categories of organics into?
Well, pretty much if you have chemicals in your bottles, you're not organic. That's pretty
That
much
sounds
it.
about right to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like even I mean, there's bottled newts that still have. They won't say, or they might even say how on it, but like phosphoric acid, folic acid, those are sometimes labeled on the bottles and sometimes they're not, and they
Okay,
are
basically what I'm
like
asking
those.
is, I'm confused as far as why is there so many different methods? Like you got fucking veganics, you got TLO, you got KNF, you got no-till, you got fucking
Oh
pro,
well,
like all this
well,
different shit. Why, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, TLO is kind of running a hot soil, but layering it, almost same
A
idea as
really
super
hot
soil,
soil.
but you're also a really hot soil, but you're also using spikes, so you're able to run in like 2-3 gallon pots. No till is just you're growing in big pots, big beds, in the ground, not tilling the soil, and just you keep feeding the soil. And probiotic or KNF, green natural farming, is just adding like ferments and other stuff of that nature, inputs into that. And then super soil is just running like a really hot soil. I ran that twice ever. And it's actually expensive to make because it has so many inputs and it's a redundant mix in my opinion, but it's a really hot soil that's layered similar to the TLO. So, and then in the larger pots, it's probably why it yields so well, that the quality's not there as much. Plus, and then veganic is not having any animal inputs. No like shrimp meal, no crab meal, no bone meal, no guano, no manure. I think worm castings are acceptable to vegans, but that's about it. So, I mean, you can use like rock phosphate and minerals and stuff in place of others, or I mean,
Or you
you
could use
can grow
synthetics
all kind.
with your Kyle Cushman.
Yeah, or you can grow. Yeah, you can use, or you can grow dynamic accumulator plants and use those, and ferment those or compost them or what have you. But yeah, the Kyle Cushman, yeah, he don't like me.
Why is that?
Man, look,
Because he said
the whole point of all this is you could grow cannabis without the use of bottles. There's no way in the world. There's no scientist on earth that could do what nature can do.
I just
So,
want to kind of get a major comparison of what are the major differences between all the different methods of organic growing. That's basically what I'm trying to get an understanding of.
people got their own ways of doing things, man. But as long as you keep feeding that soil, that's the main goal. As far as like me personally, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be straight up, man. I follow Baba Coots method, man. You know what I'm saying? Brown guy 420. Mountain Organics, you know what I'm saying? I do the no-till way, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeding coconut water. I'm aloe. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them malted barley, coconut seed sprout teas, man. I mean, you don't need much, man. The plant will grow itself, and the strain that you're growing, whatever strain you're growing, you will find its full potential if you keep a healthy living soil organics going.
I think the bottom.
I definitely get that part. I just don't get why is everything subgrouped into all these different categories. And then,
to be honest, I mean, to answer your question, to be honest, people are looking for more that's not there. You're looking to make more happen that's not there. I want the bigger bud. I want the most flavor. I want this and that. Man, if you have a good strain, then that's what you're going to get from it if you're growing it the right way. People try different things to look for stuff that's not going to be there. Oh, I got the best sugar. Oh, I got the best enzymes, or this and that. Man, but if you keep it simple, stupid, and let your plant grow, it's going to do what it do.
It's just different techniques that people were brought up using. That's all it is, from different cultures. It's not they're looking different techniques, just like there's different languages and everything. You know, it's not people are looking for stuff. None of this is new. I mean, no-till is probably the newest one, and that's been around probably since about the 40s or 50s.
Let me tell y'all the secret, man.
You know, like green natural farming's been around for a lot longer than that.
I'm not growing cannabis. I'm not. You see my room. You see what's going on. I'm not growing cannabis. I'm just keeping my soil alive. I'm keeping my bacteria going, my fungi going, all that. I'm keeping all that, but all that. It's a whole nother world in this soil. It's like, y'all ever watch Man in Black? I don't know, part 2 or whatever, when it was like a small galaxy, but then the galaxy and all that other bullshit. That's what this soil life is. It's just a whole nother world in there, man. And as long as you keep that battlefield going on your behalf, you'll be on the winning side of it.
Well, I look at it like this. It's the bottom line is what we're doing is medication. People are ingesting this medication. So what it is people are trying to get to the healthiest point of how people are growing it, because in the end result, people are ingesting it. So people don't want to really
dead on. You're dead on that. You are dead on. And it's just not about this cannabis plant. This no-till goes for food, your vegetables, exactly. For the earth. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then
man, I'm telling you, man, it goes beyond this plant, man.
Yeah, right. And even for the sick people, they have compromised immune systems, so they can't have some of those chemicals. They can't. Even the guanos and manures can have harmful pathogens that they can't handle. That would still be present in the plant material.
Exactly. Well, I say that because I lost my sister to cancer, and I was medicating her with organics, you know, in her last days, and you got to be mindful of where this is going. I mean, some people are and some people aren't. Some people are for big plants. Some people are for good tasting plants. Some people are for more trichome. Some people are for everything. And
I don't know, man. I mean, you guys, I don't know if the people that follow my channel see my plants. This is my first cycle in no-till. My next cycle is going to be even better. And I don't even have to spend money on soil again. Y'all understand, you could grow this plant. Stop falling for all this, man. Add this sugar or add this. It's going to give you a bigger buzz. Man, that's not going to happen, man. I'm telling you, look at my grow, man. If you don't believe, look at this is my first cycle in no-till. Look at it. My next cycle is going to be better than that.
No one's knocking you or saying you're doing anything wrong.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying how simple. All I'm saying is how simple.
No, I know I'm simple, but have you done Korean natural farming inputs? I mean,
I don't even plan on doing it, dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't even plan on doing it because you know why? This method right here, it's just so simple and perfect that the plant is growing itself. What is Korean farming going to do for me? Why would I try to battle? Why would I add anaerobic bacteria to my aerobic bacteria?
That's what I want to understand.
Like, I don't want to get into that. That's a child. See, Korean farming, that's child's method. What I'm doing is Bubba Coop's method. So let's not get it mistaken. I'm not knocking your method at all. I'm just keeping mine simple, stupid. You see what I'm saying? And getting the best quality that I can out of that plant. And
So
all I'm
DC,
saying is it could be done this way.
so break down your method in layman's terms in a simple, easy to understand way.
Build your soil, man.
So what are you doing?
That's
So
your
what are you
starting
doing?
point.
What are you doing is
Build your
to your
soil
soil.
with high quality amendments, high quality sphagnum peat moss. You see what I'm saying? Earthworm casting.
Vermicompost. Yeah.
Yeah, vermin compost. You want lava rock, pumice, aeration for your soil. Build your soil. That's your key right there. You have to build that life in that soil. So whatever method you plan on doing, it all begins with that. That's your starting point regardless. I mean, that's just from my humble
Well, I
opinion.
know, but
If
just
you want a
adding three
starting point and
natural.
you want a good, a good starting point, from my humble opinion, start with your soil, and from that point on, if you follow the method, you feeding the soil, you giving them. If you want to give coconut water, aloe, whatever it is that you're doing, feed these things. That malted barley has all the enzymes. People right now raving about Mammoth P. I'm about to switch it up on y'all right quick, right? So y'all got me going. People right now are raving about Mammoth P. I mean, I went in the store, man. That shit costs $135 a bottle. What are you paying for, man? 97% water and 1% bacteria. Come on, people, wake up now.
Yeah, there's other stuff you can buy that's cheaper to do
You
the
see what
same
I'm saying?
thing.
Like, hold up, come on, people, wake
It's
up
just
now.
all it does. It just solubilizes phosphorus. That's usually not available for the plant. It's usually
Man, all
binded
it
or
does is
locked
these
up.
people are playing you for your fucking money, man. That's all this shit is
No,
doing,
it
man.
does improve yield. I got a free sample. I tried it. My
Man, what
yield.
improved yields is a healthy living soil. If you have a strain that's great and your plant is growing to perfection, that's what is going to improve yield. Not Mammoth P, not no magical solution in a
Don't knock it
bottle
till you
that's
try it.
going to
Don't
promise
knock
you
it till
something.
you try it.
I mean,
Don't
I don't
knock
want
it till you
nobody to
try
hate
it.
me when they hear me talking right now, man. But this shit that these people and these corporations are selling y'all, man, is complete fucking bullshit, man.
I
I'm
I
don't.
sorry
like
to be
to
so
say
frank.
I
Okay.
make all my own inputs.
Yeah, me
I ain't
too.
I got to
buying shit
slide
from
in on this
nobody.
one, man.
I got the
Going for
Mammoth
the
P.
fucking
I
money.
got the
Yeah, I
Mammoth
do
P.
that
I
I
got
got for
the
free. I'm gonna culture that shit myself and make more.
Slide in on this one, man. Because
Yeah,
like
I got the sample for free. I didn't pay for it.
I
I make
got
my
like
own
three. I
labs.
got
I don't
what,
buy
three.
EM1. I make my own ferments. I make my own fish hydroslate. You know?
I got
Everything's
three, maybe
homemade.
four. What I got four. I got four harvests under my belt right now. And what I got to say about it is that before that, man, everybody always told me to make my soil healthy. So I was always adding an amendment to it, or I was worm castings or something, always trying to keep my microbial life running healthy in my soil. But I can tell you this, I still do the same thing. But when I started adding Mammoth P to mine, and I'm not saying that there's cheaper stuff out there to use. I'm not saying that there's some organic that you can use. What I'm saying is when I started running that Mammoth P, I did notice a huge difference in my garden when I use Mammoth P. Now, I'm not saying it's the greatest. I'm not saying that everybody should go out there and buy it. Hell, I'm not even going to promote them. I mean, you guys when you see my channel, you don't even see me say that I use Mammoth P. But I'll say it now, I do use Mammoth P, and I have noticed a big difference in my garden. And I still use the same amendments that I've been using, And then like somebody else says, they use Recharge. Recharge is something similar to Mammoth P. And you can probably get it, you can get Mammoth P for, but I'm not going to knock Mammoth P. I agree with you saying, DC Farmer, about the corporations and big thing. I'm not spending $92 for that smallest bottle that they got. You can bet your ass I'm not. I'm not going to spend it. As long as I get some free samples of Mammoth P, that's what I'm going to run, bro. But I'm not spending $92 on nothing.
But
If I
I
see
got
tell
a
you
something
this,
free.
man.
out there, I'm
What
not
you
spending
think you're getting out of
$92
Mammoth?
on organic food. I'm not spending $92 on anything when I could just add water to my soil and grow my shit cheaply.
Yeah, I got the sample for free too. We all did. None of
But
us
why
paid.
do you think you're
None of
getting
us
this shit
paid
for
for
free,
that.
man?
Huh?
Come on, let's talk real talk right quick, y'all.
It's
And I don't want
called
nobody to hate
marketing.
on me
It's
for
called
this, right?
marketing promotion because they know it
Exactly.
works, so
Yeah,
they
what do you
want to
mean?
get
Like,
the word out.
Ooh, I got
I
this.
said to
Look,
do
look what
the
they're targeting
Yeah, but
us to sell their products, man. This shit
yeah,
is elementary, man.
but nobody's buying it because everybody knows of all the shit that's cheaper. That's the thing. People.
Yeah, I ain't buying
And
it.
there's
Do
a
you know how
good
many
chance
pe-
that's just the tricantanol that's doing it anyway.
Yeah, and do you know how many people have used 4 or 5 different addresses to get free samples? Come on now. Come
All
on
I'm saying,
now.
man, I'm putting
Word.
it out there, man.
Nobody
I
pays.
started from the
Nobody
bottom,
pays
man.
for that shit. They're just a
Look,
bunch of
all of
Ain't
doctors
nobody
with
buying this.
They're a bunch of doctors with university money.
man,
I
it's
went to
cheap
my
as
damn hydro store,
man.
man, and
Look,
she got the
hold up.
same bottle. I went to the hydro
But
store,
y'all-
man, that I go to, and she got the same bottle sitting on her damn counter. Got the damn bottle, bro. And she was like, "Are you gonna buy this?" I'm like, hell no, I ain't gonna buy it. Ain't nobody buying it, bro. Not around here,
No,
not where I live. Ain't nobody buying
The
it.
hydro shop by me started carrying it, and then they had a bunch of freebies too that they're handing out. Then after they gave away the freebies, they couldn't sell anymore because nobody would buy it because they were getting. They said they stopped carrying it because everyone was getting free samples from the company.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. What is it? Dark energy. Dark energy does the same shit, from what I understand.
No, dark energy. No, dark energy is
look,
like
I just gotta go
hormones
back
that
to my
causes
point.
it to finish earlier. But
My
yeah, we
point
And I
don't
do
pay
want
for
to
that.
say
Either way it go, I ain't buying it.
I look, but look, my
the
point
specific
is,
strains of
whether it's mammoth P or not, you don't need the bottle to grow this plant at all.
Yeah.
Man, I
You
live around a
don't.
bunch of farms, bro. If I really wanted to
I've-
blow my shit up, dude, I'll just go out there and dig me up a couple of cow patties, water that shit down, let that shit bake for a while, and add that to my
Man,
car.
you right
I'm not
on.
buying
And
that.
you right on. And the worms love that shit, man. You right on. And I'm
Like I
telling
said,
you,
man,
Yeah.
man,
that's
Do
coming
you
up.
do you make
Time,
worm
man.
cast? Do you make worm castings?
No.
No, I haven't started yet, but I'm planning on making it, though. I haven't started. But me and you talked about that. You the one got me into making the worm cast. I just haven't started
Yeah.
yet.
Can't wait. See, you already know
Pharma,
what's up, man.
No, but
You
Pharma,
already know.
do
So
you
what you
make worm
waiting on,
castings?
man?
I'm just saying,
You
if you're
already
making
know
worm
what's up, man.
castings,
So what you
Right now, I
waiting
got
on,
like,
man?
Hey, for DC, bro, I got like a million projects going on right now, bro. But I'm getting to it, though, man. I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, I got the worm.
see, I mean, if
You
you're
hit
making,
it right on. You hit it dead on the fucking nail, man. That shit, that fucking manure and right there, them worms love that shit, man.
Yeah.
Y'all people might think
shit,
it's crazy, man.
but
But I'm telling you, man.
if you're
Man, I've been using cow shit. You know what I've looked at now? I may be new to this cannabis community, man, and about growing cannabis, bro. But let me say, I've been growing gardens. I mean, vegetable gardens since my grandmother put the first fucking tomato seeds in my hands, and when she used to clone her own plants, and she grew all her shit outside, or she would grow it in the house. So nothing's new to me about growing as far as like organically or using different shit. What was new to me was bottle newts. That was new to me. You know what I'm saying?
The cannabis received that just the same way as any other
Exactly. So
vegetable.
none of this is
fruit,
new.
and
I just like trying different shit, man. To be honest with you, bro, I just like trying different shit.
But I'm
Straight
just
up.
saying,
I just like
if you make worm castings, what's wrong with making your own ferments? You're not buying it; you're making it yourself with scraps. I mean, I make I mean, you got to buy the sugar, of course,
right.
but you know, when I ferment all my scraps and plant material, after I drain it and get that liquid out, all those scraps go right into my worm bin, along with some egg shells and oyster shell flour to bounce out the pH, so I don't get pot worms. But the worms eat it all up over like 2 weeks, and it's all new castings. So I mean, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, you know, like
And
a
if
lot
you
of people
don't-
talk about like using like, you know, I know everybody said that method PPM one. I guess that's supposed to be pretty. Man, think about it. If you look back at how people used to grow before people started coming out with all these different shit to add to keep pests and shit out of your garden and different things like that. Ain't nobody use that chemical shit, man. It was all naturally
You're right.
grown shit that they use. Cinnamon, different things like that. Milk, cinnamon, all kind of shit.
That's all exactly what we really trying to do is go back to the natural way of doing shit, man. That's all we really trying to do.
This is a big bunch of things. Cannabis.
Bubble Man has. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. You good?
I was gonna say Bubble Man has a video where he's in Jamaica and he's at a big old farm, and the guy has a big old neem tree just growing in the center of the garden, and he says that alone and all the leaves that fall from it keep all the pests away, and he doesn't spray them with anything.
And can't wait,
man,
you right on that, man.
Except
on that method one and all that, man.
Remember the
I
one
want to
that
say,
was
man,
in his leaves? I wrote
on that method one product, you right, can't wait. It's a good product, man. But my man Soil Bio pulled me up, man. He told me make your own shit, man. Look it up, man. And I did, man. You know what? It's better to make your own shit.
Man, it's easy
really
as fuck, man. Hey, look, real talk. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I brought some motherfucking damn. Now I done lost train of thought. What's the flowers that you put outside your garden? What's the flowers that you put outside your garden in the summertime to
You
keep
got
the pests
lavender,
away from the garden?
marigolds,
Marigolds, all that shit. I had some in my garden, my indoor garden, bro, right inside the tent with them.
Yeah. And then that's all this is.
I just want to try to see if it work indoors.
Whether you're doing the Korean methods or not, no-till, man, all we trying to do is take it back to the natural way of farming, man. For real, man, because that's the best way, man. Look, I have a grow room. I have so many fucking different strains, and they all showing me so many different things, and I'm not doing nothing different. I'm giving them all the same shit. They all under the same light, under the same environment, and all these strains are showing me different traits. That's how I know if you take care of your plant correctly, the strains will show itself. So you see what I'm saying? You don't need no miracle grow product to, man, make things wonderful for you, man. If you're doing everything correctly, you got your environment going, and you're feeding natural byproducts to this plant, enzymes, and all this to your soil. You're not feeding your plant. Let's take this back. I'm not feeding my plant. I'm not making my plant grow. I'm feeding the soil. The plant is growing itself. I'm telling you, it's going to show you so many traits and different strains that's out here, man. You're going to know what's bullshit and what's not, man. I got so many strains right now that's showing me so much terps. Then I got some strains that's not showing me as many terps. But I'm not doing nothing different to none of them. So a lot of this shit is also strain related, man.
Yeah, the plants in control.
Most definitely.
All right. I mean, I know a lot of. That's why I'm glad all you guys are on here, man, because it seems like everybody grows a little differently, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring this topic up. But what I'm still not understanding is the basic concept behind all of these different organic methods. I'm a newbie when it comes to organics. The farthest I've delved into organics is growing with the Earth Juice bottle line and doing some teas. But when you type in Google different organic growing methods, you get like 5 different things that come up.
Well,
So from somebody who doesn't understand all of this information,
it's just different methods from different areas and different cultures. That's just
so what are the basic principles behind each one is what I'm trying to get out of everybody. Basically,
It's like said earlier, it's what we ingest. You got more
permaculture.
So let's break down each one. So we got so according to Google, the main categories of organic methods are: 1 is no-till, 2 is true living organics, 3 is Korean natural farming, and 4, which is the probiotic one. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
probiotic and Korean natural farming are one and the same, and then all 4 of those are living soil.
They are different.
So they're all different, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and break down the principles of each one so that people like myself who doesn't really have all of the wealth of information that you guys have is, from trying all the different methods. Let's break down the principles of each one so we could kind of get a better understanding, and then we can move forward from there. You know what I'm saying? Once we understand the basics behind what are the different methods, then it'll be easier to move forward. I'm talking about organics because I'm like lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly. So I got a kind of basic understanding of no-till. You know what I'm saying? Having worms in your pot and you growing a cover crop and stuff like that. I think that's pretty.
Yeah, we're pretty much using amendments in worms to feed the soil, and the worms break everything down. With Korean natural farming, we're basically creating anaerobic microbes that break down complex carbohydrates to feed the soil food web. And then,
And then you said that the TLO is more using like the nutrient spikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, nutrient spikes, but layering your amendments instead of just mixing it all up, you do layers. and you can use smaller pots, but it's a hotter soil. But I mean, everybody's tried it at least once and ends up not liking it when they move on to better stuff.
Yeah.
So that's basically a good starting point for a beginner then.
I wouldn't say so. That's the step
No.
that everybody should skip.
Yeah, I think everybody starts with, hey, try this, you know, from their buddy or neighbor, and then they move on to botanic hair, and then they move on to like organics.
Okay, word.
I think that's usually how it goes for everybody, but no. I mean, a simple is just regular recycled organic living soil, no-till. Just, I mean, that's as simple as you can get. You build your soil, mix it up, let it cook, plant your plant, throw some worms in the pot, and just let it grow. Do its own thing, and then when you're done, you chop the plant down, plant another plant right next to that stalk. That stalk will fall over and break down eventually, and you just continue the cycle. And that's basically it.
So when I'm doing my soil, when I'm mixing my soil, what do I use? Because I noticed you guys were saying something about before, you're talking about your pH and stuff like that. Good and natural soil that will buffer your pH. That will keep your pH buffered.
Worm castings, compost, rock dust, oyster shell flour, gypsum, oyster shell. Those are all buffer. Cocoa, that's a natural buffer too. They're not pH regulators, but they're buffers. So wherever the pH is at, they'll kind of hold the pH there. They're not going to automatically give you a 6 point, you know.
What was that?
What did you say, DC? What did you say to that?
I said you could use bath salt or rock dust.
Bath salt?
Yeah.
Like rock dust, oyster shell flour, compost, worm castings, like green sand.
And these are important amendments to have in your soil.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use all of them, but
you don't have to use all of them. Choose one.
No, I'm just saying each one. Each one will, you know, they're all buffers. You know, you just want.
What I did notice though, when I do go to my indoor garden store, what I did notice is that she can't keep on her shelf. She can't keep it. A lot of people that go to that garden store, they grow a lot of their own vegetables outside and inside, and she can't keep that oyster shell on her stock.
Crab meal also works great too.
Who?
Crab meal.
Crab meal, yeah. I heard about crab meal. Right.
The calcium carbonate.
Calcium.
Yeah, eggshells. Yeah, calcium carbonate will bounce up or buffer the pH and bring it back up if it's too low.
Now, hi, Root. Me and you we were talking about before when we were talking about no-till, and I noticed sometimes you used to get a little hot in our hangout chat when people would say they use CalMag. Because this is a whole process about the difference in like the Korean gardening and farming and things like that. What I want you to do is explain why you say to use separate. Use one.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of a mark.
What separate amendments you can use?
Well, okay. I mean, if you're doing bottled newts, you can buy individual calcium supplements and individual magnesium supplements, but you could use, even kelp has calcium and neem has magnesium. And, you know, but if you're doing organics, when you build your soil, you're not really force feeding the plant, so the plant can grab what it wants when it wants. So you don't have to worry about overfeeding it magnesium and calcium. Because if you overfeed the plant magnesium, you can cause a calcium lockout, or if you overfeed it calcium, you can cause a magnesium lockout. So that's why I don't think people should use CalMag bottles at all, because you're force feeding that to the plant. So you can buy stuff individual, even. You know, you can use Epsom salt, that's sulfur and magnesium.
Okay.
So, I mean, that works. But just for the plant, if you use CalMag and use too much, you can cause all kinds of lockouts and deficiencies. And if calcium locks out, that can tie on into all of the other nutrient deficiencies as well. That can induce like potassium deficiency, phos deficiency, all kinds of shit.
All right.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so that's why I said if you have a deficiency, you want to treat it individually if you're using bottled newts.
I want to answer a question right quick. I saw in the chat, right? Somebody asked, did they do a comparison grow with bottle versus no-till, right? So my answer to that is I got the Smurfberry, right? Everybody know I'm growing this North Genetic Smurfberry, right? Yeah. But when I first grew this strain, I grew it under advanced nutrients. And y'all can go back on my YouTube videos and see that shit. and look at that plant and look at the Smurfberry that I'm growing now. Same seeds. Completely different story, man. Completely different story. And that's what I'm saying. Like we can't possibly know what the plant wants, man. We can't be force feeding these plants and think we know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like if we let the plant do what it's gonna do, that's exactly what it's gonna do. Yeah. So hey, if you want to see a comparison, look at my Smurfberry comparison. Look at my bottle grow with advanced nutrients, which I paid a whole lot of fucking money for, and then look at what I'm growing now.
Well, bro,
and then you'll see.
I think that's just one case though, because I think somebody probably could have did better than what you did with those same nutrients. I'm not trying. I mean,
true to what you're saying, right? True to what you're saying, but even if that's the case, say I fucked up with advanced nutrients, right? Let's say I did great. Let's say I did great, and you could compare it, and you can compare it to what I'm doing. But I still ended up paying a whole load of fucking money for advanced nutrients as to comparing to paying a few bucks for malted barley and fucking corn seeds. You see what I'm saying? So I'm getting the same results regardless.
Right.
I'd like to cut in because I've been quiet for a while, but what DC Pharma is saying is honest truth, and his passion is coming from a real place, because you don't need all that extra crap, and he's right when he says the plant knows what it wants. So if you're putting nutrients into the soil, you're basically bypassing a huge function of the plant's root system, which is its exudes, are things that the roots secrete, like carbohydrates and whatnot, that will attract the microbes to process the nutrients that it needs. It knows it on a level that we can't even imagine. So when we force feed nutrients to it, we're bypassing that exude process and basically telling the plant, here, fucker, eat this.
Right.
You know, and as opposed to the sacred union and allowing the plant to take exactly what it needs. As long as it's there in the soil, the plant knows exactly what it wants. I don't have to flush my shit, because right now they're 2 weeks from harvest. They're in their dying phase. They're not processing nutrients at all. I could pull a bud from my plants right now, dry it on the cable box, and smoke it, and it'll be fine white ash every time.
Here's the best part. When you run in newts and then you see your flowers, the leaves turning color. Oh shit, I need cow mag.
Right.
You know, like, come on, man, really? We're not doctors or nurses to this plant. We don't know jack shit about it. Only the plant could tell you that. I mean, it's spot on. It's
so
true,
you saying all these charts that they come out? So you saying all these charts that they got out to tell you when your plant is doing this or your leaf is doing that? You saying that that's not really a true statement?
Man, that's all to sell you, man. All this shit is all to sell you, man. I'm trying to tell you, just legal, just how you said it, man. The old way of farming, man, they try to wipe them peoples out, man, so the big corporations could make money with their pesticidal bullshit, man. What was wrong with the old way of farming then? Look at it now. Even when you buy organic fruits and vegetables, it tastes better. It just does.
And it lasts.
Yeah, but that shit costs more too.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to get now.
No, that's
it's all subsidizing, but also the organic lasts longer. You buy organic fruit, it's gonna stay fresh longer than the chemical fruit.
No, that is fucking true. That's true as fuck, though.
Yeah, that's why I hate.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I had some organic heirloom tomatoes, bro. Fucking half cut open, like exposed open, and that bitch was like fresh for like weeks. I was like, what the fuck?
No, there's this girl that grows avocados that we have a local farmers market, and it's all like California certified organic. And her avocados, she feeds them guano. I talked to her about what she feeds them, but they would stay fresh for a couple weeks, where any store-bought avocados go bad within a few days to a week.
I mean, I think we all kind of agree now, like, you know what I'm saying, in 2017, that organic farming is like the most, beneficial way of growing. But it's just really not practical in every situation. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Well, if you don't have everyone that complains about not having the space to build the soils, that's just plain bullshit. If you have a living room, you have a bedroom, you got space to build your soil. You got a kitchen, dining room, whatever. All you need is a 4x4.
Man, my
All
wife
you
would
need is a
kill me, man.
4x4 space. Lay down a tarp, throw out a few Rubbermaids, and mix the soil back and forth between the Rubbermaids. That's all you got to do. So anyone that uses
Man, my
that,
wife would be standing there with the shotgun ready to shoot me as soon as I drop any dirt on the damn carpet, bro.
yeah, that's not
that's why
happening.
you put out a
Hell no,
tarp.
that shit ain't happening.
That's why you put out a tarp.
He's
You go
still
to
gonna be standing there with a shotgun, bro. Talk about you better make sure none of that get off that tarp.
That's why you go to Wally World and get a 10x10 tarp for a 4x4 area. Get a brand new tarp.
Hey, so to move it along a little bit, I want Blunt Thumb, man. You and Hyru both posted some really nice topics in our hangout about organic living. And like Monster, I really want to capitalize on what Monster was saying about the difference in it. That the manuals, I call them encyclopedias, but the manuals that you guys posted on our Hangouts chat, explain to me, Blunt Thumb, about the that Korean farming that you posted.
Word. So like,
what was his name?
Cho.
Our
Yeah, could you
Taekwondo
explain
teacher.
that to me a little bit? Could you explain that to the
Yeah.
chat a little bit?
He's not originator of it because it's been around for much longer than him, but he's the one who really brought it to light in this current day, and he's one of the main teachers of it today. He put out a few books, and those are the recipes that most of the people who are using Korean natural farming and cannabis are following. Google Master Cho's recipe book PDF, and it'll pop right up. It's essentially about a half dozen recipes or so. Most of them are just regular brown sugar ferments. A few of them are acetic acid ferments, so that's vinegar. And there's like 2 microbial inoculations, and that's about it. But yeah, just following those recipes and applying them in the appropriate usage is basically the idea behind Korean natural farming.
Yeah, because
when they talk about the probiotic farming, they're specifically, I believe that there's actually a patent on it at this point for what it's supposed to mean or something to that effect. I'm not exactly sure, but it's when they grow in the earth boxes, the sub-irrigated planters with the bokashi and other amendments, the effective microorganisms. And then the no-till is basically what they were talking about before, the main stake of it. No-till, you don't till. Some people will run cover crops. Most people will, for the most part. One of the main recipes that people will follow with it is the Coots recipe, which is crustacean meal, kelp meal, neem meal, basalt, gypsum dust, and oyster shell flour. And that's mixed in. And then there's the 1 part peat moss, 1 part compost, and 1 part aeration. That's the basis for what a lot of people are using for the Korean natural farming and probiotic farming as well. So that's really the basis that a lot of shit goes off of.
That's what's up. Yeah, because I was looking at that, man, and he had a lot. He had what, 3 or 4 different type of recipes that you can make your IMOs off of, and I felt that was really interesting learning. I mean, just simple shit that you could buy at the store that you even have around your house. You can pretty much IMOs, and then you can not only could you make them, but then you could actually, I guess, they would multiply by you make them, and then you can add those amendments to whether you're growing outside, inside. It didn't matter where, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that was pretty neat. I really appreciated you guys posting that stuff in the chat, man. I really did. That was some pretty good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And aside from that, his son also came out with a form of culture called Jadam, Jadam, and it's actually even lower cost than Korean natural farming is. It cuts out the sugar and all of the fermentations, and it's based off of water and leaf mold ferments.
Right.
So really want to go real low cost, they could always go that route. But Korean natural farming seems to work well in my situation, at least.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying that. Out of all the stuff you guys posted, that Korean natural farming is what I was like. Yeah, I really liked. I was really thinking about trying it, and I think that we have a guy, one of our supporters. I think it's Daniel Rivas. I believe that's who it is. Maybe the chat could correct me if I'm wrong. He actually bought corn kernels, I think it was, and he let them get tails, and then he liquefied them, and he used that as an amendment to add to his soil.
Yeah, that's a normal part of no-till.
Yeah,
that was pretty neat, I thought.
Yeah, that's a seed sprout tea.
Yeah,
that'll be high in
exactly. That's what it's
enzymes,
called. Exactly.
cytokinins.
Yeah, saponins and minerals and sugars. And, yeah.
That's what's up. That's what I'm glad you guys are here, man. You guys be like I've been telling the chat all night. Told them to pay attention and hold on because it's about to get a little live. That's what's up. Well, I say we take a cheers and we hit that next topic. What y'all think?
Yeah, I'm over here rolling up right now. Just over here.
Oh, hell
up all that game. I love when fucking Blunt Thumb and High Root get into it, man, about the organic shit, bro. It's like,
hey, DC Farmer, Blunt Thumb, and High Root, man, when they get and you know what it is though, bro? They saying almost similar to the same thing. It's just a different way they do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's straight knowledge. Either way it goes, it's straight knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You can take word from what either one of them say, man. Go do what you got to do and really be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really like about this, man. This is some really good shit. This is what you don't see. You know, you see a lot. What I see on, you know, a lot of other, you know, shit is that to be agreeing, even though they may disagree. And I'm like, nah, that's not what we're about. We're gonna give everybody in this chat, everybody that check us out, we're gonna give you the truth from everybody. How everybody grow, what they feel is the best way to, you know, what their experience say, what got them their success. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about this Trichome Chaser TV.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
So I say we take a cheers and then we move on to the next topic. If you guys know what everybody in the chat room smoking tonight. Man's Food. Oh, he had the JOB punching that 9 to 5. What's up, Man Food? Shout out to Man's Food. I see Grove 420 done stepped up in here. Shout out to Grove 420. Hey, we got to get that brother up on here one night, man. Get him talking about that DWC, man, because he's killing it over there with that.
I'm on my third
Here's
cup
some
second blunt.
Very white dry sift rosin made by Jedi Dry Sift.
Yeah, next week we'll have a couple people on the panel from the OGF family. Next week we're gonna try to get them on, let them talk about their grows, see if they got anything. You know, maybe they can show a couple things or not. You know, shout out to the OGF family.
Hey, High Root, check this out, bro. I pressed this. This was some fucking full spectrum ice water hash that I pressed at like 160 degrees, and this shit came out like saucy, bro. Like straight saucy.
How long did you press it for?
In 30 seconds.
160 degrees at 30 seconds? That's on your pneumatic press?
Yep.
How many PSI is that? Didn't you say it's like 2,400 or something like that? Or
5,000?
Or 5,000. Yeah, I'm way off. You might not have to press as long with that press. You could even go 15 seconds, you know, or even lay off 10 degrees. Because I mean, even with mine, if I lay off, like, if I press sunflower at 200, it's fine. Others, it's real sappy. But if I drop it 10, 20 degrees, it comes out more shatter and even a lighter color. or if you keep the same temp press for a shorter amount of time, and it'll come out, you know, do the same thing. It's one or the other, really. And then, I mean, and if you still feel you can get more out of it, just let it cool, the little puck you press, let it cool off a bit, then press it again, and you can still get more off of it, maybe, if it's still sticky.
Yeah, I think with our dishes that we got with Bay Bread, Joshua, man, Joshua be hitting us up too, man. I really like our hangout chats, man. Everybody be I wish I could post some of the stuff we talk about in our hangout chats, man, because it's like I ain't got to go nowhere. I ain't got to watch YouTube. I ain't got to pick up the book. I ain't got to do shit. All I got to do is just sit back and watch that watch the chats roll in the hangout, man, and I'll be good to go.
Just make a forum.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
Monster,
Monster was talking about that. Go ahead, Monster. Talk to him about that, man. What was we talking about? All right. Well, since he stepped away real quick, I'll tell you what we were talking about doing that one night. We was talking about Monster was talking about developing a website so we can have a forum up since we got as much knowledge as we got, and starting that out online. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was talking about.
and we'd be the admins and we'd control it all.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, I am signed up to MV Closet Mad Grower. He got one. I'm signed up to his. It's got some pretty good information on it, but I think we can have about the same.
Oh, you were talking about the website?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The forum? Oh, yeah, it's definitely coming. Trichome Chasers forums is definitely coming shortly. It should be ready by springtime. I say probably by like March, April. And then that way, you know what I'm saying? We have a fucking forum to store and like log all this fucking dope information that we're collecting. You know what I'm saying? This shit's gonna continue to go on. And I don't want the information to be hard to find. And we talk
Word.
You know what I'm saying? We talk so much every day and share so much information, bro. Like that Hangouts chat, you know what I'm saying? Like it scares me to lose all of that information in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
It really does. I be screenshotting a lot of shit just to save it and come back to it later.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I was telling them, man. I said, I wish I could share a lot as much as they be talking about and as much as we be talking about in there. I wish there was a way that I could like post that and share it, man, because it be tremendous knowledge going in there, man. Tremendous knowledge. Yeah,
most definitely. That's what the forums is gonna be able to, you know what I'm saying, to help us out with, man, is just storing all that info.
And that's what I was saying, you know, with DC Farmer jumping in, Josh, now that Josh is in, Blunt Thumb, Bay Bread, even you know, hell, I'm the newbie, man. I don't be saying hardly shit, so I be asking questions. But what I really like, though, is we got some young cats, you know, I call them young Thundercats. We got them with us, and they be hitting us up with questions, and it's just really good to see them grasp hold of all of that, man, you know, and it improves them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta have people who can explain shit, because I can't explain shit. I may know how to do it, I just can't tell you how to do it.
Yeah, we got Blunt Thumb and Josh to be the articulate ones here.
Yeah,
I mean,
you and Blunt Thumb, man, y'all be the heavy researchers. Man, they be pulling out encyclopedias and shit and be dropping in the top. Like, God damn, where y'all keep all that shit at?
What's crazy about it though, right? Well, we feed our plants.
District want to know. He want to know. How did you come across no-till way of growing? That's what he want to know about DC.
I'm telling you, man. Just I got tired, man. I got tired of the bottle, man. From Miracle Grow, Dyna Grow, Advanced Nutrients, I wasn't happy with my results, man. I wasn't, man. And I'm gonna tell you,
where'd you first hear about it? Like, how'd you come across the concept? Okay.
But to be honest with you guys, I first heard about it through Brown Guy 420. I started following them. I kind of felt like we were going through the same problems, dealing with people and, you know, so-called fucking friends and shit. So I started following them, right? So then he mentioned Bubba Coop. He mentioned Mountain Organics, man. And I started looking them peoples up, man. You know what I'm saying? And then when I started looking them peoples up, I found out there's a whole nother world out there, man, that's telling you the truth about this damn plant. So, man, that's how I came across it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I tried it myself, man, look, y'all see the results. You don't believe me, man? Look at my videos. I'm documenting this shit, man. Y'all see the results, man.
Proof's in the pudding.
I swear to God, man, it is, man.
We need to have like organic education month where fucking every live stream for the whole month is just dedicated to talking about organic education.
But it spills over into our bodies, our pets even. You feed your pets kelp, man. I'm telling you, man, their health will be better, man.
I fucks with ferments because of the shits.
I'm telling you, man, it's bigger than what y'all think, man.
Y'all
that was some
trying
grow,
to
that
hang
was some
out
grow
chat.
mouse humor.
Somebody say fermented fruits for their vegetable. They said, but it also is also a very good healthy drink. And they were using it. You guys have responded to that, man. I'm starting to fuck with that fermented juice, though, man.
Well, yeah, you can
Right,
take a
though.
little.
That shit, shit,
You
man.
can take
That
it a
shit,
little
man, it
further and
cleans
make
off.
some. You can make some. Take a little further and make some jungle juice. Make some little type
I'm telling
moonshine,
you
if you
right
will.
now, man. Hey, you ain't got to go to a chiropractor to get no cleanse. Drink some of that fermented juice, bro. You'll be good to go.
Oh, that'll give you a colonic cleanse more than Del Taco.
Hey, Bay Bread, man. What's your style of grow, man? I didn't think I heard what your style of grow was. What's your style of grow? Oh, Bay Bread.
Is he on mute? Bay Bread, you on
No,
mute?
he might have stepped away for a minute. I'll hit him up later, though. Oh, somebody, a Blunt Thumb, or was that? Yeah, that was you, Blunt Thumb. Somebody got your word up there in the chat, man. That kombucha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Soul
Josh is
biota.
into
Yeah.
that too.
Hey, yo, I kind of wanted to, like the root and microbial exudates. That sounds like a really interesting topic. But you want to kind of explain that for the chat and for the people a little bit better, so we can all understand the benefits of root and microbial exudates. Blunt Feezy or Hashmaster High Root.
Oh, I'm getting some motivation.
It's about to get
Blunt Thumb, what you think about that, Blunt?
juicy.
Pull up one of these references. Basically,
The plantphysiology.com one was a basic coverage.
Oh, was it? I skipped over that one.
Yeah.
Say that
Yeah, just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, just.
For it.
Yeah, I'm trying to read. I read this so fast earlier. I don't. Just give me a second.
Man, look, the roots are like the ambassador to the mycorrhiza, man. They facilitate the communication between the living organics in the soil, man. And it all starts from there, man. They drip that sweat, man. The bacteria and the fungi love it. The nematodes and the protozoas go after them. It's all about the living soil food web, man. I'm telling y'all, it's a whole different world in there, man. Whole different world.
We're trying to understand this process. So break it down to us, DC. What's the benefits of root exudates, and let us know why they're important.
Well, see, that's the plant. That's the plant telling the soil what it needs. That's how it controls its growth. So say you have a pesticide or something that's bothering the plant, well, they're going to excrete that exudate into the soil to create that bacterial life or that fungal life to create more, in other words, more juice, more power for the plant to defend itself in layman's terms. You know what I'm saying? And I can't break it down technical like everybody else can, so I'm gonna leave that up to the other folks on here. But yeah, the plant is using that to defend itself.
Okay.
It also drives the nutrient absorption, right? So the plant, the roots don't only suck up water and nutrients, they also exude those substances that DC is talking about that will attract. If it's in veg, it'll secrete the stuff that it needs to attract the microbes that'll process the nitrogen.
Yeah, the amino acids, the sugars, the metabolites, yeah, and it'll control the nutrient uptake, water uptake, and secretion, and like, yeah, you're saying attract the microbes. And it, where was it?
Okay, so you're saying they're created from the plant because the plant excretes this from their roots, right?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it regulates a soil microbial community. You know, basically attracting the microbes it needs, and microbes, enzymes, whatnot. You know.
Okay. So when the plant when it excretes it, and you're saying it attracts the microbes that in turn do what?
That take the nutrients into a different form that's more available to the plant. So
Okay, so
the microbes will process the minerals and the nutrients in their raw form into like a chelated version that the plant can then take up easier.
got you. So this is what is actually facilitating that whole process, are microbial exudates.
Exactly. It's the plants refines its exudates to get the nutrients that it needs based on where it's at in its growth cycle. As long as everything is there in the soil, the plant will send out the exudates that it needs for whatever nutrients that it needs. That's why you don't get any kind of weird season and no-till soil that's properly amended, because everything is there and the plant just takes what it needs.
Here we go. Compounds such as amino acids, organic acids, sugars, phenolics, various and other metabolites are believed to comprise the majority of root exudates, whereas high-M compound exudates primarily include mucilage and proteins.
So is this like something that's only in an organic system, or is this all plants, regardless of what nutrients or whatever?
If you're feeding bottled nutrients, you're bypassing the exudate process.
But
and so the plant won't.
They'll still produce exudates. I just don't think that they'll be
attracting the microbes
as necessitated as
There won't be microbes for them to attract.
Yeah, and like the common pH stabilizers like phosphoric acid can make microbes go dormant.
So do we know what microbes attract?
And to answer your question, is all plants do this?
And I've been something that says that.
Yeah, and what exudates it secretes, or whatever it secretes, is sort of proprietary, or I guess, or depending on the species of plant.
Right.
Yeah, so it varies from plant strain, cultivar to cultivar, to species to species.
So the exudate is an actual microbe.
What was that?
No, it's a sugar.
It's a sugar that attracts the microbes because the microbes feed off of sugars.
It could be sugars, it could be enzymes, it could be a lot of different things, but it's not living organisms now.
Right. Man, it's crack.
No.
Bacteria, whatever. I don't know. They love that shit.
It's basically it's like complex carbohydrates for the microbes. Sort of. Yes.
That's right.
So can you buy these?
Well, I mean, that's kind of what we're creating with like ferments and whatnot, when we make our own ferments of various types with labs, or FFJ or FPJ or what have you. We're creating, or IMOs too. We're creating microbes that'll feed off complex carbohydrates rather than just sugars. It's like McDonald's versus a steak dinner.
Microbial exudates with that, not root exudates. Granted, they overlap.
No. I get the idea, but we're creating. Yeah.
I mean, if you're asking if you buy these exudates,
we're trying to create the same kind of microbes that those exudates would attract.
Yeah, but if you're asking if you could create the actual exudate that the plant create, no, because
they have some similar. Like for instance, they do have synthetic forms of some plant hormones and some things that are plant exudates.
Yeah, but then again,
always acting as plant exudates.
That's going back into the conversation of synthetic, science versus nature. It's like you fighting a never-ending battle, man. Science is going to win.
And I'm not saying to use that. I mean, the aloe, you don't have to go and get NAA from a synthetic source.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as trying to, because it sounds like it's no shortcut to this. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like no, you really can't. No, exudates for the plant. The plant creates that. All I'm doing is taking care of the soil, man. The plant is going to get. The
I
plant is
never
doing what
said
it's
it
going
was
to do
we
to
were
grow. You
creating.
know, like I mean, my this
I
is.
never said we were creating the exudates artificially. That's not what I
No, I
said.
just thought that was his question, and my answer to that would be,
That
if
was
that was your
definitely my
question,
question. Yeah,
monster, my answer to that would be no. Like
that was
there's no
word.
shortcut to this.
Okay, that was definitely my question. I thought maybe I could go buy something or something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Word,
No.
word. Yeah, because I'm just trying to get an understanding of all of these importances and the different things you guys have been teaching me about organics, man. You know what I'm saying? It's real complex. Like you say it all the time, DC. It's a whole nother world. It's like its own big ass world, and it is. And
Yeah,
it's
man. I
like,
mean, and it's something that we got away from, man. No fault of us, man. They don't even teach this. They don't even teach agriculture in school no more, man. Like, come on, man. It's like they making us dependent on corporation, man. You need Miracle Grow to grow vegetables. Fuck that. That's bullshit. No, you don't.
so what I'm trying to do is learn how to, dive deeper into and experiment on my own, and not be
Yeah, and I understand
and
that.
not
I
against
understand what you're
myself.
trying to say. And to everybody in the chat and everybody that's listening, I swear it's not hard, man. Once you get that soil going and that soil food web, that living by it's like taking care of an ant farm, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to feed them, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's
Yeah.
super hard, but I think the knowledge is so immense. And I don't like
Yeah.
to do nothing unless I'm knowledgeable about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't
It
like
can be, but to me personally, it's a whole lot easier than trying to feed them through the bottle, man. And this is
Amen.
through
I mean,
experience, man.
but yeah, and the one benefit of ferments over compost, and I'm not saying it's good to use both, but with compost, with heat action, you do lose a lot of the enzymes and a lot of the amino acids that would be present in the ferment if you're of those same
No, I don't know,
materials.
man. I kind of disagree with y'all a little bit. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm using bottles, and as long as I just go by either and I don't even really go by the instructions on the bottle. Sometimes I even tweak that. But I think sometimes when I be listening to you guys or trying to research no-till seem a little bit more harder than it does just to put that shit in a gallon of water and shake it up and pour it in my plants. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no-till will turn you into a Google bot.
A different this to use, a different that to use. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, I'm gonna use all that when all I gotta do is just add this liquid to this bottle, shake this shit up, and pour it in my plant. You see
I
what
mean,
I'm
that's
saying?
all I do, man.
The thing is, with bottle newts, you're following. All you do is follow a chart. With no-till, it turns you into
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's
with
a lot
no-till,
easier
it
than
just turns you
that.
into a Google botanist, and it just because you want to know more and more and how everything reacts.
I mean, for me personally, I just don't think you get the max potential. I don't think you're getting the max potential.
Now we're talking about somebody. You're also talking about somebody like myself that could take the information that you guys are putting it out, filter it, and then I could start a no-till garden. Versus somebody that's maybe not being able to take that information, look at it, man. It looked like, man, fuck that, man. I ain't trying to do that shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, some people, and it goes just like we talk about difference in the plants. We got to talk about the difference in people. Some people can't handle, doing a lot of different things that to us might seem easy and simple, to when they just look at just taking the directions off the bottle or looking at a chart and just doing stuff like that. To them, it seems like a little bit easier. Once you get started in no-till, it'd be just like riding a bike. It'd just come to you naturally. But from somebody just like Monster saying, from somebody that's just starting, scary to a person that's just starting, bro. It can look like, man, that's too much thinking. That's too much doing this. That's too much doing that.
It's not only just about that, man. It's also about our health, man. It's also about what we put back into the earth as well. You know what I'm saying? So, all that comes back into a full circle, into a whole. Like this is supposed to be a medicine for our body. So why the fuck are we putting chemicals into our shit? There's no way in the world you're gonna tell me you flushing all that shit out your plant.
Chemicals is in my water. Chemicals is in everything. I can't get away from chemicals.
Yeah, all these farms that use chemicals are killing the soil. All these farms,
and I can't help but play the devil's advocate, man. But you know, some of these chemicals, some of like the stuff that I'm using, like when I go like the clean grow, most of the stuff at clean grow is derived. Now, some people now they'll tell you they can't be classified as organic because of the certain rules and regulations that consider them to be organic. But when you say derived from a plant, does that necessarily mean that it's a chemical because it was derived from a plant, or can it just be derived from that plant?
It depends on the process.
Yeah, but also look at the
You see, that's
hold up. Also,
derived is the source. It's not how they processed it. It's not how they made it.
All
Derived
is
is just
look at
the source.
All I'm saying is it's a gimmick. Look at the rest of the inert ingredients in that same bottle that you're talking about. You see what I'm saying?
Honestly, 80 to 90% of the rest of the ingredients is water.
And that's what I'm saying for.
When you really look at it,
Okay,
that's water.
For.
All the farms. I live in an area where there's tons of farms. There's date farms, corn farms, veggie farms, all kinds of farms. 97% of our water goes to the agriculture farms. They all use salts. They all use chemical fertilizers and pesticides. They have killed the soil. Several times a year on the same day, they all do crop burnings to burn off all the salinity in the soil. They have destroyed the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea is the largest lake in California. It's a 35-mile lake. There's dead fish all over the shore. It smells like a dirty diaper. In its heyday, the Brat Pack hung out there, and there was boat races and water ski competitions. And now it's just a desolate, polluted place. It's and it looks it looks beautiful from far away, but up close, it's disgusting. And there used to be like 500 species of bird there, and there's no birds there anymore. And it's drying up, and if it dries up, all that pollution and dust is going to go all throughout the valley and right into LA County. And it's going to make a lot of people sick. So look up the Salton Sea, because that's all caused by chemical fertilizers. The runoff goes into that lake.
Now, where I live at, I live by the Great Lakes. Okay. Now, anybody that live up by the Great Lakes can tell you that you now can only eat so many fish out of the Great Lakes because of the mercury level in the Great Lakes, because most of the fish that are bottom feeders, they pick up that mercury and different things like that. So what I'm saying is, unless you know exactly what it is that you're putting in your garden because you did it yourself, you don't really know how much chemicals was in that anyways. Am I right or am I wrong? So unless I go out and I catch my fish, unless I go out and I grab my oyster shells, my seashells, my kelp meal, unless I go out and get my own kelp straight from the ocean and process it and put it in my garden, I don't really know what was all in that shit. I mean, anybody can put it on that bag what they want to put on that bag.
Right.
That's where it gets
Right.
tested.
A lot of it like this. Where do you guys get the ingredients for the no-till at? Is the no-till?
Well, their MSDS sheets are made by their own company, but you can actually check with the State Department of Agriculture to see what their actual ingredients are.
Hey,
they're actually required to disclose that to the State Department of Agriculture to register their product for sale.
Hey,
they don't have to disclose it to the public.
MSDS sheets for his company, bro. You know how much shit we bullshit in that MSDS sheet?
I have no idea, but very little to a lot.
Man. I mean, they send us the chemicals for our plant. Like, for instance, we manufacture wheels where I work at. The shit we use in our coolant so that we can actually turn and cut the wheels down. We take aluminum wheels and make them from a gray, rusty ass aluminum to something shiny that go on the truck. Until we cut that, the shit that we use, the coolant we use in that shit is supposed to be made out of eucalyptus leaves. Nah, bro, that shit is a straight lie, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, all of that shit, no. There's more into that shit than what people are saying is into that shit. And I'm just playing devil's advocate, bro. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going no-till. Don't get me wrong.
There's another problem with like you say, the organic is like you can say you have something that was, made with eucalyptus, but how was that eucalyptus produced? Was that grown organically? Like was it from the wild, or did they grow it on a chemical farm?
That's my point. That's my point. When I'm just trying to bring up, bro. That's my point.
Well,
I do agree that organic is a more natural way to go, but I just want everybody, because there's a lot of people in the chat that are kind of like right now, they got like deer in the headlights. But I just want to, be like, just let them know right now that organic.
I mean, there's a few good places. I mean, there's a few resellers and stuff like that that, like, you know, that we all use that source or places from reputable, you know, places that practice, you know, that have sustainable practices or whatnot. So, you know, build the soil, keep it simple. I know there's that one in Georgia. I forgot what it's called, but
Right.
yeah.
First Amendment soil up in Massachusetts and Vermont.
Yeah. Oh, and there's that one in that crab shell compost or lobster compost out in Maine too.
Well, shit, let's talk about what you guys were talking about in the hangouts when we were talking about actually about chloramine out of RO water and different things like that. I mean, I think somebody posted in the hangout chat that they read were distilled that you can't really take chloramine out of the water. That an RO system can't.
As far as
Or did I misread it?
Yeah, that one study was saying you can't remove it with a filter, but I think it may depend on your system. But as we were talking about before, you can use sodium thiosulfite, which can be found in molasses or a fish hydroslate, and that will sort of neutralize the chloramine. It will break down the chloramine into ammonia, and that ammonia will eventually evaporate off. It usually takes about twice as long as chlorine, but that is one way to get rid of it. But in the study I read, there is I know Blunt posted that one study, and there's a Harvard one I read too a long time ago. I posted somewhere on Roll It Up. It's still there, where it took like 20 minutes to neutralize the chloramine and the few other chemicals in water. Oh, it was chlorine?
That one.
Yeah, it took about 20 minutes for 5 gallons of water, like a few tablespoons of molasses to neutralize the chlorine. And
all right.
So, I mean, you could buy like a chemical sodium thiosulfate too for the bottle users. You can just get that from, and doesn't yucca do something too? You were saying?
Yes,
yucca
does. Yep.
What?
It's like, isn't yucca like a conditioner for water?
What do you mean a conditioner for water? Like for it works in the same way to neutralize the chlorine and chloramine.
Yeah, yeah, I thought you were saying something like that in chat. Yeah. Good one too. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. I know. I mean, I use tap water for my garden, but I fill up bottles of RO water for making hash and drinking and cooking, and I measure those with a ppm meter, and they always come out at 0 ppms. Sometimes, like if it's right before they need to, change out the filter, it'll get up to 7 or 10 ppms. And then my taps are on 200 though. So that seems to be removing everything, but my city doesn't use chloramine at all, since it's all agriculture mostly.
All right, yeah, that's what's up, man. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, I understand what you guys. I mean, trust me, man. I think you guys are on to something here, man. Real talk, I really do. But I've been around chemicals, man, pretty much all my life, man, and that shit is everywhere, man. It's like you said, Kate, like you said, Hyroot, that shit is it's going to desolate the country, man, eventually, man. And I agree. We should go back to the open farming. I really do agree we should go back to open farming.
Just a matter of whether it's a toxic chemical that's bad to the environment or not.
Yep.
Yeah. The state gave our valley like $3 million to renovate the Salton Sea. So that's a start. But they said it's going to cost about $15 million and take about 10 to 15 years to renovate.
Right.
Or whatever. But that has to happen. There was actually Vice aired it. They actually aired a thing on the Salton Sea on a show called Abandoned. It's on the Vice channel. But they covered the Salton Sea on that. It was, yeah, they covered it pretty well. Hi, dog.
We're about to have Grow 420 jump on. He said he wanted to come and share some information with us. Man, lots of good information. Lots of good information shared tonight, man.
Hell yeah, man. That's what's up, man. That's what I like about our team, man, about the family we got going on, man. Hey, we discuss, man. It's all love. We all want to, we all want to help each other do better. That's what I'm down with, man. That's what I'm down with.
Man, I'm over here learning about this note too.
I know, man. My sheet is full, man. I had to do 2 different pages.
And I just want to say you can really get into the organic shit and like the no-till shit really simply just buying a fucking bagged soil from like a build-a-soil, whatever that before. Just throw it into a sip or into a smart pot, a big enough 120-gallon, 30-gallon earth box, and just.
Hey, since you said that, man, let me ask you.
Nice and simple.
How long do I let it bake for?
You really don't have to let it bake for that long. Like, I mean,
it depends on what soil you're using. If you're using like a TGA mix or whatever, then you have to sit. But if you're using
with like the
Coots mix, he doesn't recommend letting it bake at all. I've never baked any soil, so.
Yeah, I mean, I let it bake for a couple weeks. That's usually about it. Sometimes a week. Sometimes a month. I mean, I have soil that just sits and cooks for months at a time too, just because it's just I have no use for it. It's just there.
I personally let mine go for 3 to 4 weeks, but yeah, he's correct. You don't have to let it go at all. You good from jump.
Let me ask you another question about that. I heard you guys talking about that super soil. Now, what's the difference in me making my own super soil? There's a company out here where I live at. They have super soil, which I've used in my regular garden outside.
Oh, that super soil is not the actual super soil, but super soil uses redundant amendments that
man. Let me tell you something,
that pretty much do the same thing that you don't
gimmick too, man. It's a gimmick too, man.
And they cost a lot. It costs a lot of money to make some super soil, and it's a hot soil.
What's the gimmick? You got to explain to me. I ain't hear. What's the gimmick?
And man, come on, man. It's a gimmick too, man. Anything with super soil in front of it, man, they trying to sell you, man.
Going on.
Yeah. Soil if you want, man. You're gonna run out of juice before your plant does, man. It's not gonna work.
No. Now this is where I'm gonna disagree with you on this, DC, because I use it in my garden, and I ain't never had my tomato plants. Ain't never been 5
You're
feet,
talking
6
about
feet tall.
You're talking about the Green Avengers super soil, right?
No, it's a private company. It's a mom and pop. She does mulching. She does a lot of different shit, and she had her own brand of super soil that they mix out there. They got their station.
That's not the same as you saying a super soil that's on market. You see what I'm saying? You talking about a mom and pop that they're giving you a soil that they cooking you up that they know is going to work for what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's what I meant. I'm not buying this at the store. No, this wasn't part of the store. This was the people that I used to get my gravel from, rocks, different soil.
It just depends on the ingredients, really. I mean, we can't tell you anything about the soil unless we know what's in it.
I don't want to be rude.
All I'm gonna tell you is a lot of the amendments that's in the super soil
are not necessary. Yeah, it's a redundant mix. I mean, he's got bone meal, crab meal, guano. I mean, you can pick one of those. You don't need all three.
A whole bunch of stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
All right, I got
you. He's got green sand. He's got Epsom salt. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff you don't need. He throws in humic acid and worm castings. You don't need both.
All right.
Hey,
shout out to Grow 420. Just jumped on the panel. How you doing today, brother?
What's going on, guys? I'm sitting here listening to this no-till stuff. Y'all don't got no spill on here to even defend us. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
I
that
have
was
zero,
they were on last night.
I have zero issues with no-till. If you know how to do it, do it. But this shit is hard. I don't care how you want to twist it, turn it, flip it upside down. The shit is hard.
This shit is mad hard.
This
Like
shit is mad easy.
after I figure out how to grow
It's easy. It's just it's
how to get
like
rid of my bugs.
You guys, look,
it
you
was
guys.
like when I started going to audio school. You know, you got this big old 50 channel mixer that looks intimidating, but it's actually one channel that does the same thing 50 times.
But
You
that's
know,
the thing.
it's kind of
That's
like
why
that.
You want to go
every
to
day
school
I'm
for 12
asking
weeks.
y'all questions. I'm pretty sure you guys have understood by now that I don't get it yet. You know what I'm saying? Based on the questions that I
Yo,
ask
could I
every
For
day.
someone that wants to do no-till, I would say the very first place to start before you read any of the books, go and try and mix your own soil. And I hate to even say the name of this forum because you all know why I hate them, but rollitup.org. Go to the organic section. There's a sticky thread started by my buddy at the time he went by Head Treat. It's called the ROS No-Till Recycled Organic Living Soil and No-Till Thread. It basically covers everything that Coots put down on the IC rag, whatever you want to call it. And it's really basic. And it, you know, I mean, it's probably like 1,000 pages now. But it would be the best place for anyone that wants to start with no-till. And then
If
after
you want
that,
all
start
that,
reading all the bill, because that'll give you the basics of what you need to do. Because like Head Treat, which he now goes by No-Till Soil on Instagram, he basically did a step-by-step process of what you need to do for no-till, the Coots method, and then he updated the Coots like when. Because Coots changed the way he was doing his seed sprout teas multiple times, so it kind of follows where Coots started and changed and went back and did this and that. So that's a really good place to start. It will really help you understand it.
a really good place to go would be logicalgardener.org. Coot and Tim Wilson and Tad Hussey and a few other people, all a lot of info onto that site, like scientific papers, so everything is backed up by so that's also another place to go. It's basically that thread, but
I have a question for DC Farmer. He was saying that he switched from the bottle to no-till because he didn't like his results. What about your results is it that you didn't like?
I wasn't. It just felt I wasn't getting the full benefit that the plant could give me. It just wasn't there, man. Stunt growth, mutations here and there, tip burns. Man, I'm always trying to take care of this plant, man. Like I'm not a doctor. I didn't know what this plant was trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm afraid of with no-till. Like with hydro DWC, I could look at my roots and I know within a day what's going on, and I could fix it within a day. With dirt or with no-till, something goes wrong. I don't really have the patience.
Let me ask you this question in another way.
know,
Hold on.
soil's more forgiving though. If something goes wrong in hydro,
See, that's what I'm saying. Hold up. You saying
if something goes wrong in hydro,
you got roots, right? My thing is, where in nature does this happen?
Where in nature does what happen?
That the cannabis plant grows in this matter.
Where in nature do we grow indoors?
We grow indoors now. The same
method of technology
no, the thing
we place indoor. Nothing changes.
Okay. If something goes wrong in hydro, you basically have an hour to react. If you don't have some B1, if you don't have some B1 on, I grew hydro for fucking a decade. Yes,
that is not true at all. I leave my
yeah, you can make some bounce back, but then they'll be like all stressed out for a couple weeks.
There's zero truth in that. I've left my growth for a whole month.
But soil, if something goes really bad wrong in soil, that means something has been going bad for a few weeks, and you slacked off. But if it goes, something can abruptly go bad in hydro within a couple of hours just from the pH rising.
I am the ultimate lazy person. I live my regular life and I grow just for fun. This is really just a hobby. Nothing. It's just for me. And I'm telling you, sometimes I leave my garden for a month at a time. And with my DWC, I do not need to check it every day. If something goes wrong, I can catch it. I've never had a problem in 4 years of growing because I'm a very.
What if your pump dies? What if your pump dies?
I could tell you this, man, and I could guarantee you this. Out of your 4 years of
What
growing,
if you're gone, your pump dies, and your resi goes dry?
I could tell you and guarantee you this. Out of your 4 years of growing, you have not grown this cannabis plant to its fullest potential yet.
I can agree with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I don't think anyone that's ever grown the plant to its full potential because we're not in prehistoric time with that kind of CO2.
And what I'm saying, and what I was saying to you as far as these new methods, the DWCs and all that, where does my question still hasn't been answered. Where in nature does this plant grow in this matter?
I can answer you, but so many people keep.
Oh, I can tell you that. There's a rice paddy. How you think of rice paddy? How you think of look at how rice is.
Even with the rice paddy, that's a fucked up fucking way to fucking grow.
I could give you an answer.
That's just nature.
But that's how it grows, though.
That's not how it grows.
All right, I'll give you.
That was the method that the people were using to try to make farming quicker for them, a better yield.
There's natural
revolution.
There's faster year, man. A faster year, may I say?
There's natural aquaponics in nature where plants are fed by bodies of water by the rivers and streams and lakes. Oh, unless it's a land race. Well, there's land races that do, because I mean, a land race is a plant that's
come on, man. Let's keep it real, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep it real, man. Where does this? Did this water grow? Did this plant grows in the middle of the lake somewhere? Come on, man.
As soon as you give me a chance to answer you, I will. Can I answer? Okay,
we listen.
All right. So what I'm saying is,
I feel you.
What I'm saying is, no, the plant doesn't grow in the middle of a lake somewhere. But you know something? The plant also doesn't. We've moved inside. We've used technology to move forward. How can you decide that you want to use one piece of technology and not the other?
Not everyone has moved inside. The only people that moved inside is because they have to.
Yeah.
If given a chance and people could go out all day, every day, that would be the primary choice.
Well, there's some people who can't grow where they are.
There's not enough farmland.
Yo, bro, 420, turn your mic up, bro. We can't hear you. People in the chat saying they can't hear you, dog. Turn your mic up. Yeah, turn your mic up.
I said it's impossible for us to grow enough marijuana on the farmland that we have to provide for this whole world.
Why?
Why?
Why is that? Why is that so?
I can tell you why. If you want to have a conversation, we have to be able to both speak. You keep cutting me off every time you ask me a question, it's gonna be hard to answer your question. But the reason why
Northern California provides enough pot to fuel the whole entire world as it is.
No, there isn't. I live in New York, bro. Every summer there's a drought on marijuana. Every summer.
Well, that's because you're in New York. You guys get your weed from Northern California.
What do you guys say? Because I want hit.
But the reason you go on a drought in New York during the summer is because your drug dealers are on vacation.
That might be true.
Yep.
That's what we had to do. That's what we had to deal with in the 90s here. All our dealers would go on vacation.
All I'm saying is, man,
we'd have to get our beasters.
This another way, man. All I'm saying is people keep saying it's not enough land, farmland. It ain't, because we keep feeding it salt and killing the microbial life in the dirt. That's why.
Can I tell you? I have, I'll say what I said at the beginning. I have zero problem with no-till, the way that no-till has a problem with no spill. But let me explain. I have no problem with the way that you do it because it works for you. I think that anybody who grows should do what works for them. But I'm telling you, by saying no-till is the only way, is the best way, that's not true. If that's the case, don't get in a car. Everywhere you go,
it's the natural way.
Then walk everywhere that you want to go. Don't ever get in a car. Don't get in a plane.
It's not the only way. It's not the best way. It's the natural way.
It's good. I do no-till. I get a fuel efficient car. I grow a lot of my own food. I do everything organic. My whole life is organic. My toothpaste is organic. I don't drink tap water. Everything I do, I do everything that way. I mean, we got to get around. I mean, I got a car that gets 35 miles to the gallon. It's better than what it used to be.
You're always dependent on that company whose nutrient you're getting it from.
Yeah, I don't have a horse stable. I can't ride a horse all over the place.
I don't have bats that I can go collect bat shit.
I don't use bat shit.
But everyone uses something different. I don't have any animals near me that I could collect anything. When you have no choice, what do you do?
Do you have an ocean? Do you have an ocean?
No. The closest ocean.
Do you have a lake? Do you have a river? Do you have a lake?
Bro?
Do you have a river? Can you go get some fish?
I live in a city. You want me to get that polluted water?
Man, I live in the most
can get
fucked up
worms.
city there is, man. That ain't no excuse, man.
And if you live in that fucked up city and you're using that tap water, or using the water from around it, and you're not
Aerate the water, man. It's as simple as that. Everybody using our old water think it's gonna be a
Well,
miracle cure.
if you're in
Aerate
Flint,
your water, man.
or
It's
if you're
that
in Flint,
simple. Put some fulvic acid in it.
Listen,
Yeah, it does depend on what's in your water.
if you're in Flint, Michigan, you don't even want to like go near that water.
What you rolling up, bruh?
Hey, shout out to Gunner 420 up in the house. What up, Gunner?
Yeah.
No, I'm just
what you rolling up over there, bro?
Want to smoke up on some alien rip?
Okay, that's what it do.
Oh, hell no.
Cheers, y'all.
Anybody live in DC, right? They know where our water product is right next to. Blue Plains. Let me see the chat respond to that if they know what Blue Plains is.
Explain to me about Blue Plains, bro. What's that?
That's our sewage facility, man.
I have no idea what that is.
You with Gunner
Storage
420
facility
and Grow 420's channel, but if y'all not, go ahead and sub up to them, man. Shout outs to Gunner and 420 for coming on the panel, man.
Yeah,
Shout
sub
outs.
up to him. Sub up to him, man. Sub up to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all subbing up. So we can agree to disagree, or how's that go?
That's all I'm. That's
agree or
all.
agree
That's
to
the point
disagree.
that I was trying to make. Is don't preach that no-till is the only way. We can agree to disagree.
Again, I never said it was the only way. I just said it was the natural way.
DC, you only grow in.
When you walk into a hydro shop, naturally you're gonna buy some bottles.
There's no way you can do 100%. Are you growing indoor or outdoor, DC?
I'm indoors, baby.
Then you're not natural. You don't got a full spectrum.
I'm indoors because I have to be, man.
I'm indoors and I have.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm indoor and I'm full spectrum, and my light has a 10-year warranty, and the bulb lasts 10 years.
If you don't have the sun, you don't
eat
have
all organic food. Do you eat all organic?
You can be full spectrum without the sun. Yeah, it's called a white light. It uses every wavelength of the visible spectrum from 400 to 700 nanometers.
I'm curious, do you guys really live the organic life? Are you guys
Nah,
organic?
man, hold up, man. See, don't get it twisted, y'all, man. Look, listen, man. I'm straight from the motherfucking out here, man, welfare child and all that shit, man. But just because we started on the fucked up way don't mean we got to end that way, man. We got to educate ourselves and do better for ourselves, man.
Is this something that you only apply towards your cultivation, or is this something you also apply towards your daily life? That's
but see, like I said before, it started out as my cultivation, but that led into my daily life. That's what I'm saying, man. If we try to get more in tune to how we grow, whether it be vegetable or plants or whatever, man, and be attentive to what it is that's going on, you see that also relates to our life, man. Our body and
and if I buy foods, I look for that Oregon Tilth logo on the food.
Do y'all drink hemp milk instead of regular cow's milk?
Man, hell no.
I'm lactose intolerant.
No, the cows is what's fucking everything up, right?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Not necessarily. It's
it ain't. My point is, it ain't about that, man. We just gotta work ourselves into a better way of life,
because of all the meat people eat and all the McDonald's and Burger Kings that have all those slaughterhouses. That's the cow problem.
Yeah,
get rid of the fast food. Get rid of the fast food. Get rid of the slaughterhouses. Get rid of the fast food industry. Get rid of the slaughterhouses.
Nah, man, we've been slaughtering animals. Man, we've been slaughtering animals since the Pilgrims and Indians, bro. How we gonna?
No, I know, but we wouldn't have the mass slaughterhouses that we have, you know.
Yeah,
we have the huge population, but if we did, you know, if the whole world was Indian, the cows would be running the world, you know, but whatever.
All right, well, let's get off the cows and all that shit. Gunner, how your garden doing, bro? What you got going on in the garden, man?
We just recuperating after this long ass flowering time we had to go through. We just, you know, vegging out some plants.
Yeah, man. So you was in trim jail there for a minute, wasn't you?
for a whole week. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Never been in Trichome for that long, and I've been with dispensaries and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, whoa.
Party foul. That was a party foul.
So what you was over there trimming up that alien riff?
That was me.
A couple different strains of Jordan. I had the Alien Rift, the King's Kush, the Mendo's Breath, a couple of Canna Genetics, the Creamsicle OG, the Blue.
Hey, brother, hey, tell me if I'm putting you on the spot, man, but I got to ask you a question, man, about this tester you sent me. You don't mind me asking, do you?
No, not at all.
The cheese Danish, man.
You said what?
Was the cheese
You're muted.
Danish?
You're muted. You're muted.
Muted?
No, he is.
Muted?
Oh, Gunner not muted. Hey, you send me that cheese Danish, Gunner. What's up with the cheese Danish?
Danish is something really special to me. No, you're like, you and a few other people are the first people to get it. Cheese Danish is a cross of my boys Stone Ninja Cheese Daddy cross Blue Power.
You say that again. You cut out, bro. Cross what?
Stone Ninja's Cheese Daddy cross Blue Power.
Cheese Daddy.
Okay, all right.
Anybody used to follow, Stone Ninja and I back in the day, he made this bomb ass fucking cross called Cheese Daddy, which was like, it was crossed with exudates cheese and something else. I gotta ask him. Can't remember right now, but it was some dank ass shit. So I wanted to make a cross with one of my favorite strains, of course, Sin City Seeds Blue Power, and his Cheese Daddy. I think it's gonna be pretty dope.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to put that in the garden then.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be fire.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you got any up and coming projects coming, man?
What else did you get?
I got the Power Berry. Oh yeah, the Power Berry. What's up with the Power Berry?
Power Berry. That was like one of my first one of the first strains that I made. I made that strain back when I used to run the Green Dragon. Really dope strain. That's my fruits and berries crossed with the Power Berries.
Okay. That's what's up. And then I had to get that Gorilla Smash.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are big fans of the Gorilla Smash.
I was trying to get that Creamsicle OG, but I got the Power Berry instead though.
Oh, as far as the buy one get one special.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a random thing. It wasn't more of a. Sometimes we do specials where you can pick your second strain, and
right.
Fortunately, some people were lucky enough to participate in those. But the last two specials we ran were more of a random thing.
Okay, cool. That'll work. Well, I'm gonna show them pop these cheese Danish then.
Yeah, man, thank you for your support, man. I definitely appreciate everybody's interest in my genetics. I definitely want to give thanks to everybody that supports Canna Genetics.
We got to get you on here more often, bro, so you know what I'm saying, get more in depth about what you're doing over there, and because I'm interested. I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear what's going on. You know what I'm saying? What you got cooking over there?
We got some things coming. We definitely got some things already past the testing stage. I was kind of holding back because I didn't want to just lay everything out all at once. I wanted to kind of slowly feed and see what people like the most, and then go from there.
Right. Right. That's what's up. So
we definitely got some stuff that's about to kill the game right now.
So let me ask you a quick question. So what's like the the aim of Canna Genetics? You know what I'm saying? Because every kind of seed company is, you know, their mission is a little different. So, you know, what's the mission with Canna Genetics, and what's kind of like,
What's your theme?
yeah, I mean, not really so much the theme, but yeah.
My all around theme is to unite people. You know, together we grow, united we grow.
Okay.
You know, as a whole, we can grow so much faster and so much mightier together. You know, and there's so many people out there that are trying to make this a big competition, which it's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a competition. We're all learning. You know what I'm saying? We're all growing together. So my aim is to, you know, gain success as a united whole.
That's dope as fuck, man. That's dope. That's real talk though, man. I mean, that's basically what it is at the end of the day. Like, no facade, no fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, mask on or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Ego shit that people are playing with, and you know, I'm this and I'm man, that shit is whack. You know, show me what you got, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people out here just wanting to be the big man on campus. Man, I'm willing to share this wealth. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be successful.
Yeah, real talk. Real talk. Man.
That's what's up.
So I can learn off that man's success and gain my own success.
So another question I got is, so like, what's the meat and potatoes behind your strains? Where do you mess with like a specific source of genetics? Like, for instance, I know North Genetics and people, you know, like they like to stick with a certain breeder for the meat and potatoes of their strains, or do you just, you know, get anything that comes across your path that you might like or something like that?
Yeah, my thing is my personal insight is the most important thing when it comes to my breeding, because I don't want necessarily what someone else, other people to like my genetics. But the first thing I think of when I grow my genetics is, would I smoke this? Would I be proud to show this off to the next person and be like, hey, you know, this is what I'm smoking? You know what I'm saying? Like, I look for something that is going to catch my eye. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, if it catches my eye, it's going to catch the next man's eye. You know, I call myself a connoisseur at this, and, you know, I'll smoke anything at least once just to get a grasp of how it makes me feel. You know, 2, I'm a patient. So I look for certain properties when I smoke. And I know, you know, my wife, you know, she's a patient. She looks for way different properties than what I'm looking for. So I kind of base it upon that. You know, I kind of base it around, you know, how it makes me feel when I'm smoking it, when I'm growing it, watching it grow. You know, that is pleasant to me because, you know, when I started growing, I had no room. I started in a 3x3 closet that was built into the apartment.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And tall, lengthy plants, you know, never really helped me because I was burning my plants. You know, it was so much lark everywhere. You know, I couldn't control the bugs or the powdery mildew. I wanted something that was more compact, something that I can fit in there with a good yield and a good funk and punch to it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I based most of my genetics through.
Okay. Word. So do you have any collabs with any other seed companies or anything?
I mean, as far as hand-to-hand collabs, at this moment, no. I just, you know, work with myself. But, you know, that's not telling you, you know, I wouldn't do it in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, word. So what are the different strains that you have like right now, and can you kind of break down the lineage without giving us any secret sauce or anything like that?
There's no secret sauce, bro. I mean, like,
What's the website?
What people don't understand is there's no secret sauce to this. It's like,
Good
if you like a
genetics.
characteristic in a strain and you want to continue that characteristic, you have to work it. down to that characteristic, and then work it back up to where you want it. You know what I'm saying? It's really simple.
Word. Yeah, I'm curious to the strains that you have. Like I only one that I'm really familiar with is the Gorilla Smash, and what's the genetics behind that one? The Gorilla Glue, right?
Okay, Gorilla Glue is a cross from the Gorilla Glue and what am I trying to say? The Monster Cookies. It's from Greenstone Nutrients. So I crossed that.
Video a long time to figure out how to do it correct.
Sorry.
What?
I'm still learning how to do this. Forgive me.
Hey, that was like perfect time though, dog.
That was a good ad lib though.
Right. So it's Gorilla Glue crossed with the Monster Cookies, and that's what the Gorilla Smash is?
No. So that is the original strain that the father that I crossed back with the shut-eye polar bear.
Oh shit.
So that's what made the Gorilla Smash.
Wow. So what's shut-eye polar bear?
Shut-eye polar bear is an OG from Greenstone Nutrients.
Wow.
What's the website, bro?
Huh?
What's the website?
Canagenetics.com.
I didn't hear you.
Canagenetics.com. Yeah, check out the website. I gotta go and check it out. And do you got all the strains that you have and the lineage behind the strains and everything on there?
On the website right now, I'm gonna start putting in all the descriptions and the lineages and the flowering times and things like that. Just give me a little time to work on the website.
Word. That's what's up. So what kind of, like, are you an organic grower too, or are you running synthetic nutrients, or what?
Synthetic nutrients. I don't run necessarily organic.
Word. So we got another team member. So it looks like it's about what, 4-on-4 now.
we got a chance.
The battle of the synthetic and the organic, huh?
No,
that's what makes this family so unique, man. That's what makes this family.
I'm about to be a hood.
We got
hopping over to the organic.
Yeah, we got some organic growers. We got synthetic growers. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple. Me and Grow 420. We in hydroponics, DWCs. I got a flood and drain. You know, we a little spread out. You know, we got a little bit of everything going in, but
don't get me wrong.
Definitely a lot of love and a lot of knowledge that be going on between the stuff.
I got some soil grow too. I just don't prefer.
One of the light companies I work with, they have an aquaponics farm and they put they have like koi, bluegill, and I think they have salmon in one tank, or freshwater salmon. I don't know, but and they get good yields with their plants too. And they grow them in just the same fill and drain hydro buckets with the PVC connecting them or whatever. And yeah, and I mean they got those big ass white tanks with like the whole metal frame around it, all that. But they do really well, and it's all the water's recycled, everything, And they put rock dust in tea bags and put those in the reservoir to add the trace minerals.
Like Budman, really well. He uses his pond water sometimes to water his plants. That's what he uses. Budman, Oregon Budman, he uses pond water. I know a lot of people that use like their fish tank water or their pond water to water their plants.
I used to use my fish tank water.
You can look up 151 Farms online or on Facebook, and they have all those various aquaponic gardens because they grow cannabis and fruit, and they have to produce 5 pounds of fruit for every 1 pound of cannabis, and then they have to donate all the fruit and veggies to homeless or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a question.
Yeah.
What is everybody's sweet spot as far as environment? If you take away everything for the plant, like take away the medium, everything like that. Where do you feel is the best environment to encourage the best growth?
Do you mean like temperature, humidity, airflow, like that?
Yeah, like that.
Well, I mean, cannabis is a very adaptive plant. It could probably grow in almost any environment. I mean, I've seen plants growing at 25 degrees, and I've seen plants growing at 100 degrees, and I've seen plants fry at 126 degrees. Desert summer. But it's just certain strains can do better in certain areas. Sativa dominants, are better with those mountain areas, and indicas are better. Doms are better with the low desert areas, but you can 75, 80 degrees, be to 70% humidity.
I've always where?
I would say mine would be the environment, my environment, seeing how I grow indoor in a tent, and then where I live at, I get all 4 seasons, so I have to be on top. So I would say my weak spot would be the environment, my environment. Keeping my humidity, my temperature, the heat, the cold, that type of. I would say that would be my weakness.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I hear you now, bro.
I kind of agree with that as well. But my outtake on that is, and this is the same thing with BPD or whatever all that is. My outtake with that is, what's comfortable to you as a human being as well. Like if it's too hot and humid in there, you know it, you feel it, right? You know what I'm saying? So my outlook is, if I try to keep my humidity, everybody as a grower knows in veg, high humidity is good with the high temperatures, and in bud, you lower your humidity some. So if you try to keep that in mind and try to keep those numbers running alongside each other, man, you really shouldn't have a problem. But try to keep the environment as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, the only problem, the only thing with my environment, bro, is that I grow up with my family, my wife with her health and everything. So, dude, it's wintertime is the worst time for her, man, because that cold air kills her. So the house,
man, I'm fucking battling that shit now, man.
80, 90 degrees. Then in the summertime, we can't have the air conditioner on because it'd be too cold. So that's why I say my environment. For me, I can be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But trying to make her comfortable, that's a totally different story.
And that's where the power consumption comes into play as well, because in order for me to keep my environment correct, man, I'm sucking up so much power, man, keeping the heat going, humidifier going, fans going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, it definitely is a battle.
And for me, 8 months out of the year,
saying, Gunner?
I have to use air conditioning 8 months out of the year. 4 months, when it's luckily it's cold enough, I don't have to. The rest of the year, it's blazing hot.
I'm always happy when it's cold.
Me too. Opposite of when we were kids.
Well, it saves me a lot on electric bill. When it's cold, I just vent in the cold air from outside. But on my grow room, I keep it 75 on the temperature and my humidity about 45. I don't move much from that.
Yeah,
at nighttime, I go down to 70.
My environment, like it's gotta be no higher than like 75. Maybe at the most 78. You know what I mean? With a 45% humidity, all the way through. When the lights is on, it's got to be on.
At my final 2 weeks, I dropped the humidity down to like 30 just to get it a little more oils out of it. But 45, I go down at the end, that's it.
Yeah, mine's usually 77 to 81. The other day it was 86 because we had one hot day and then it went back to cold again.
Yeah, in the summertime, my temperatures are probably like 85, 86.
Yeah.
It's
like 50 degrees. It's 50 degrees here right now outside, but like we had one day where it was like 70 at night, like 2 days ago. So it got hot in the garden.
2 degrees up here, bro.
Man, dude, you can make some bomb hash out in the snow. I would be layered up making hash out in the snow if I was you.
Man, the hell with all that, bro.
How long does it take for you guys to
just put on one of those dive suits, where they dive for gold.
How long does it take us to dry?
Yeah.
About 5 days.
Yeah,
5 days.
7, maybe 7, 8 days.
Dog, I would, you know, a lot of us were all brought up to know that it was like 7, 6 days, but dog, we were all wrong. I just learned this shit.
Yeah, you want to slow dry it as long as possible with lower temps to preserve those terps and those trichome heads.
Yeah. The sweet spot is 60 Fahrenheit, 60 humidity.
Say that again?
60 Fahrenheit, 60 humidity.
If I could,
So
if I had a
64 degrees.
dedicated room just to drying, I would do 45 degrees temp and 30-degree humidity.
Seriously? I wanted to put it in my attic to dry because my temperature's up there with like 45.
Well,
but
I'm a hash maker, so for me it's to preserve those terps and trichome heads.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, but at those colder temps, it's taking longer to dry though.
You know
so
what?
It'll take at those 40-degree temps. It's going to take 3-4 days. I mean, not 3-4 days. It's going to take 3-4 weeks to dry.
Yeah, I don't have a dedicated drying area, so I can't do that.
No, neither do I. But I would love to be able to do that if I could. At my drying closet, it takes me about 8 days to dry everything. This time of year, it'll take about 10.
My humidity is really low. I have to keep it up. So every time, if I take it out of my grow room to dry, it's drying really quick.
Yeah, I have.
Gunner, so how many days, if you dry it like that, Gunner, how many days does it take?
14 days.
Wow.
It's like perfect.
And I promise you the results. You'd be like, damn, Gunner, that's some shit.
I'll try it.
Oh, yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, that's good. 14 days.
Keep it 100.
I have to try that.
That shit, I mean, the shit will be so sticky, you'll hate trimming your shit. Like, I'm telling you, I promise you.
Yeah, I will definitely try
it. I fresh trim anyway.
What's the conditions? You said what's the temperature, Gunner?
60.
60. Oh yeah, that's about where I'm at. Perfect. Yeah, 60. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm at like 75. I'm at 75, 50.
for like 10 to 14 days.
My dry area is like fucking 30 to 30, 75, 30 on the humidity.
You want it to be slow and low.
30,
you know,
30 degrees and 75% humidity.
Yeah.
No, it's 30 humidity.
See, okay, like
oh yeah.
Cuban grower's trick to making his dry sift is he dries his buds in a 40-degree room, 50-degree room for 4 weeks, and then he cures them in that same room for another 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So the buds never leave that environment until he probably makes dry sift in that same room.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I watched that video, bro. I took notes on that shit. I got them notes written down.
I think it was like hash church 76 or something.
I got it. All you gotta do is type in hash church Cuban grower and then go down in the comments and somebody's got, I think it's like 45 minutes in is where he starts his whole drying technique and all that shit is where DK 420 popped the question on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Man, a lot of people,
and I got his dry sift at the Emerald Cup, so I can attest to that for sure. He makes fire dry sift, and he's not organic, but I still smoked it.
Yeah, so I guess that kind of covered all. You know what I'm saying? The dry and harvest technique. Because remember, I told you my boy was watching, and kind of wanted to give him some harvest technique tips and stuff like that. Because he's growing good. But his drying is all fucked up, and it's like fucking his weed up. So
he's drying too fast, and he's getting that hay smell.
Yeah, I told him,
or he's taking it down too wet, and he's getting that hay smell.
And I would dry trim. I never like to wet trim ever. Like the first thing I do when I cut down the plant is I take off fan leaves and I hang that shit up.
Yeah, I did my very first dry trim this time.
Well, I cut off the fan leaves right away because then I compost them. But I trim up, but I fresh trim everything. I think it makes for a prettier bud,
It
and
does.
also, yeah, and I make hash with trim, so I want to preserve those volatile terps that evaporate when the material dries. So I want, because those volatile terpene oils are what really makes melty hash.
I honestly think I get a better cure, a better harvest with leaving the fan leaves and all that on. I dry trim as well, man. So I don't know, man. I feel like you get a better smell come off your plants, man.
You do. That's what I was trying to say. So I've
Well,
wet
no,
trimmed
well,
and
the
I've
thing
dry
is with that, not really,
Oh,
because
man.
what happens is those leaves are sucking up all the chlorophyll out of the bud. But if you wait 3 days, 4 days after cure, those fresh cut buds are going to smell like exactly the same as the ones that the dry trim buds smelled like when you took them down. It's like a 4-day difference, 3-day
Yeah, but
difference.
when you wet trim, you're still in
What did you say originally?
flowers.
DC, what did
Because
DC say?
you're waiting for that chlorophyll to break down, but those leaves kind of suck it up. So there's not as much chlorophyll to break down in the curing process as if there is when you fresh trim. But as the chlorophyll breaks down, that those terpenes like kind of polymerize. I mean,
And not to mention that a fresh trim, it's kind of hard taking the 12 to 14 days and drying time, because it's going to dry a little faster on you.
I don't
Yeah,
yes and
not a
no.
believer.
It depends really. There's many factors, but
Yeah, it's a lot of different
I
techniques.
fresh trim and mine dries in about 8 to 10 days.
What's up, guys?
Oh, Frosty
What
in the house. What's good,
What up,
Frosty?
bro?
You guys, I'm just chilling up my flower room right now. 6 a.m.
You got the slow-mo voice on, bro.
You know the grow room always got bad connection.
You guys
Frost,
hear me now?
can you hear us, bro?
Yeah.
All right. I see it's looking good over there, dog.
Bounce back.
Oh yeah. We got 2 600 LEDs and a 600 watt HPS over a 5x10.
That's dope.
They're all in 5-gallon pots. Got a total of 8 of them in here. No air conditioning or nothing. We rocking my 77.
That's dope.
Yeah, my Frosty Flakes stacking real nice.
Same flower?
Yeah, they're on day 7 right now.
Time to lollipop them sexy bitches.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
taking all these clones and stuff. Come
You
through.
wait that long to take clone? Man, my house be full of clone. I be shit. I do not wait till flower to take clones.
I think he lagging up.
It's always a bad connection in the grow room.
It always, you're right about that, brother. It always is.
You
your clone, Gunner. How soon you take your clone?
I take them in bed. It's like,
for sure.
If I'm worried about a cycle going, I'll take them like the week right before I flip.
Right.
I don't really like to play with fire when it comes to my genetics because, I've always been like a genetic hoarder. So it's like, for me to lose something, I take it very hard.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I usually take my shit right before I flip them.
Yo, Gunner, how do you store so much genetics? Because I'm losing my mind.
And if you end up not liking the shit, just throw it away and give it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you always. That's why when I see a lot of people having like like re-veg plants is like, you know, it's really only your fault. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have easily taken that clone and just decided, okay, you know, such and such number one wasn't all that good. So, you know, I'm not going to keep it. You know, it's easy.
But I don't got a lot of space for all of that though. So what would you recommend? What would you recommend? You know what I'm saying?
You can't spare a quarter of a little dome with a rock cube about this big.
You can't.
Nah,
If
son.
you got a
Nah,
little,
son. I only got 4x4, son. I only got 4x4.
tissue culture.
Yeah. I only got a 4x4 for my veg. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Tissue
Harold,
culture.
could you explain that tissue culture?
No.
No.
That's the thing. You say it, but it's so hard.
Brown guy was talking about it last night on Roundtable, I think, or last week or something.
Gunner, we can't hear you, dog. We can't hear you, Gunner.
They somehow store the tissue and they can grow plants from it. I've seen it advertised in High Times for the last 20 years, but never thought anything of it or ever looked into it. So now I can't speak on it.
Gunner, what you said, bro?
I say you got to get it how you live. I used to have lamps all over my house trying to save genetics and trying to.
Yeah, I'm always trying to narrow down. I had like 30 strains at one time. I'm down to like 11. But every time I get rid of 3 I drop 3 strains, and then all of a sudden I get gifted 5, and I have like probably like 50 different seed packs of shit I've never popped.
Yo,
I don't know about y'all, man, but I like having multiple strains, man. I really do. I like having a different.
No.
And I go to a few cups a year, so I pick up genetics when I get all the cups.
I've
and I get
never had a
genetics from
monocrop.
friends. And I'm having my first monocrop for the first time in 5 years.
I want one so bad. I just always have.
I know. I just let shit go. I was so busy. I just let the whole room finish till there was nothing left. And then
I got one more little question, bro. So like what would you recommend for somebody who, you know what I'm saying, wants to get into breeding and stuff like that, but doesn't want to dedicate whole rooms to breeding? You know what I'm saying? Do you have any tips?
You have to.
Yeah, you know?
I mean, you could do the paintbrush method, but then you got to store the pollen, and I'd rather keep the actual cut. I'd rather actually keep the stud alive and keep, like, you know, until I create a different stud off its offspring. But I would, yeah, because you want to do, I don't know what you do, but I like open pollination. It's easier. But, and I like in so I did a breeding tent, and it's an actual, you know, grow tent, but I kind of like modeled it after Vader's growth chamber. So I like the idea of the basket he used to shake the plant and then to remove it from the water source. So he would
the way Gunner got his. The way Gunner got his, Gunner, don't you just got the males in the tent with the females?
That's open pollination. That's what I mean by that. You just let the male flower. You let the male flower with the females instead of just painting pollen on with a brush.
Just like it would happen in nature.
Exactly. Like I have a bunch of males in one tent too. So I've been stocking up males for the last couple of years and pheno hunting different males to use.
I've killed every one I came across.
Yeah, I've lost some rare ones that I can't get back either, and I didn't even get a chance to breed with them.
My bad. Ben was trying to say something. Y'all know his mic fucked up.
I was talking about on Canna Genetics. How do you guys feel about starting from scratch?
What do you mean by starting from scratch?
I mean, like from land traces seeds.
Land races?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, who would mind it? I mean, it's all in what you want. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Even that land race, you're not starting from scratch. It was already made. This plant was already made. So it's only what you want. I don't give a fuck if the strain was made yesterday. If you decided to breed with it, it's just going to Zimbabwe.
What I was asking now, well, what I'm asking now, because I'm interested in myself of also doing this as well. But my goal is to try to get seeds from different parts of the world or whatever, however, have you from, from that place and cross,
Like, I wouldn't necessarily look for something that just so happens to be very far away. I would look.
That doesn't make it good because it's from Germany or from Israel.
That's not the point that I'm making.
Well,
what I'm saying is
everything started
right
from
now,
land
it's a lot of
races.
going on, right? So right now I could take a gorilla glue and cross it with a cookie, whatever, right? You see what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like taking it back. You see what I'm saying? Then starting from the beginning kind of deal,
Yeah, that's like
working with
strong.
Working with like Hawaiian land races and African land races, and
that's
you
like
just gotta hunt.
new.
That's the point. You know what I'm saying?
A land race is no longer a land race.
Basically, what he's saying, bro, is he wants to introduce new blood back into the genetic line. That way, he's not starting from weak genetics that's already been hybridized 30 million times. That's what he's trying to do.
I see what
I get that, but from the moment you breed with a land race, it's no longer a land race.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
But it's landrace genetics. It's technically it's not a land race because man's touching it, but it's still land race genetics. It still has the same genetics of the land race it came from.
Wouldn't everything be technically land race?
It's not hybrid. It's not hybridized if it's just a clone of the original land race, like the F1, it's not a.
But DC, you got to understand, bro.
Still a land race. There's still pure land races. You just got to search for them. I've had a few myself, and a few have been shitty, and a few have been good.
Yeah, if you do it like that, bro. If you go to like the country, and you try to do like what strain hunters are gonna do, like what strain hunters was doing, you're gonna have to have like fucking huge ass greenhouses, bro, to run thousands of seeds because most of these seeds they're gonna be fucking like they're gonna be built to grow in those areas. So when you take them out of the area, it's like taking somebody like an Indian and putting them in the city. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely understand. Yeah. You know
what I'm saying? So you got to run through thousands.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking. Because it's something that I'm really interested in getting into, but I want to start from that perspective, as like a strain hunter type deal.
That's,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what Bodie does too. Bodie works with all land races. He travels the world, to hunt for those land races. I think he's working with some like Chinese land races right now.
Yeah, those been out. I got some of those.
Oh, you lucky. I have no Bodie gear.
Ones. I got a ton.
Yeah. I just got hooked up with a cut of some Mexican gold. So I'm going to be working with that. It's legit. From my Egyptian buddy that's got all kind of land races. I'm still trying to get his Chitrali, but he won't give it to me. He keeps holding out on it, and he keeps making excuses.
I had that shit. That was the first strain I ever ordered in my life, bro. When I was 14 years old, I ordered a 10-pack of Nigeria and a 10-pack of Citru from Amsterdam Marijuana Seed Company. And I grew them bitches out, harvested them and everything when I was 14.
What's the hardest part of breeding?
Finding the right one.
Pheno hunting.
From a breeder's
and
perspective.
testing.
Oh, I think he lagged out.
Oh, okay. Because I know it has to hurt sometimes when you make them long runs and just don't end up with anything.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I showed you pictures of my successful ones in the chat, but I made one with the parent one of the parents just turned out to be shitty. It was one of the parents was a Scots OG crossed with another OG, I forgot what it was, and it turned out horrible. But I used that as a parent, and the plant just grew super stringy, so I never grew any more of it, but I still have the seeds.
I think
seed sprout with them.
Could be finding your males too. You know what I'm saying? Because you can flower females out all day, but flowering males out could be kind of
challenging. You have to do that. Like
The Mendo Breath male I have, that was chosen out of I mean, it wasn't a lot of males, but I flowered out like 5 males, and I like the characteristics of that one the most. And the Kona Sunset male I had, I flowered out 15 males, and then I lost it during the summer to the summer heat outside. So
the picking, you gotta actually let that male fully flower out before you select it, or?
well, no, you'll start to see the traits you want in the 3rd and 4th week.
Okay.
You want to see those frosty traits. You want to see the branch structure. You want the smell, everything.
The only male I've ever grown has been by accident through me not knowing how to spot it correctly.
But sometimes I have a couple of friends that happened to, and they made some fire out of it, and then they've actually went into back crossing it and making an awesome back cross.
It's nice.
Yeah, I actually got some beans of that back cross recently.
I'm scared to.
Or no, actually no, that guy did that on purpose. My other friend, he created blue balls on it. Well, the first cross was on accident, and then he accidentally pollinated his pre-98 Bubba with some blue moonshine, and then he took that and crossed it with something else, and he created blue balls. No, he crossed it with a fireballs from Seeds Boutique or Breeder's Boutique, and he created fireballs. It grows these long spears.
So, Harold, what do you think is the hardest part about being about breeding? Since we don't have Gunner here.
Just pheno hunting and just holding on to all those strains. And like with stuff I've done, I pollen chuck, straight up. Like I won't just work one strain. I mean, for like an initial F1, I'll throw like 5, 6 different strains in with the same male, and then pick a bunch to grow out and see if I like them or not, and then pick the best one to work with, and then try and create more, see F2s off of that to work with.
I think the time that you have to spend flowering.
Oh, it takes years, and then even if you lose them, I have strains I'm working on now I've never even posted a single picture of, because until I'm ready to like give people testers, I don't want to show a single thing about them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I want to run each strain and cuts a few 4 or 5 rounds before I can give them to anybody, because I don't want anyone to deal with bullshit I've dealt with off shitty breeders in the past. So, because it ruins your whole day or ruins your whole 3 months.
So what do you guys think about like breeding with feminized genetics?
Don't do it.
I don't like it because they're very susceptible to all kinds of problems, because feminized plants can't seem to handle stress at all, because I think they get those stress recovery traits from the male. And that's where all like the Hermy issues come in with femmes.
Yeah, I was trying to give some advice to somebody. I just didn't really know how to explain it, but I just kept telling them it's not a good thing. I didn't know how to explain why it wasn't a good thing.
No, I didn't see your question, DB Cannabis. What was it? Type it again.
Hey, y'all, man, it's a little past 2 o'clock out here on the east, man. I'm about to head out. Man, the panel.
Say, man, we've been kicking it for about 3 hours.
Today,
20 minutes.
About 3.5 almost.
And definitely was
My dog, man. Hey, thanks for coming through, DC, man. I appreciate
all
it,
the
brother.
time, man. And I like the new panelists that came in today. Grow 420, Joshua, everybody, man. I mean, it was live today, man. The chat and everything, man. So see y'all next week, man. I'm out, man.
Be good.
All right, baby. We'll take it easy.
Yeah, we had.
No, I did not. Okay, I saw your question, DB. I did not get any breath work too. I just picked up one of their land race crosses.
I'm glad my man Grow 420 finally got up on the panel, man. We've been trying to get you on for a minute, brother.
Yeah, man.
I got cursed out by my wife to get up here. She's like, "You leaving me alone?"
Hey, we didn't mean to get you cussed out.
Nah, I was like, nah, baby. The no-till winning. I gotta go talk.
I know that's right, brother. That's right.
My man, he
yo, man, that
little it over there with that DWC, man.
Good, bro. your lights coming along, man? You still working on them lights?
Nah, I'm finished that. I've actually finished everything. I'm just watching everything grow right now.
Feel you.
I upgraded my LEDs from the 250 watts to the 320 watts. So now I just did a par check the other day. I'm getting like 1200 par. I know my meter isn't the most accurate because people talking shit to me, but it's an actual evaluation of what I'm getting.
Right. No, I'm always watching everything you put on the ground, man. I'm watching everything you put on the ground.
When you gonna start doing YouTube, man? When you gonna make some videos, bro?
I thought about it and I was like, man, I'm too stupid, man. I be smoking. I'm bound to say some shit I don't need to say, and it's all right.
Oh man.
Hey, I watch my videos all the time. I'll be like, damn, did I say that for real? You know what I'm saying?
You can't take it back once it goes out.
Man, delete that shit. Whoop, real with the quickness.
There's no delete.
Hey, did you yo?
Yeah, YouTube still got it.
Hey, Monster, did you upload that? Whatchamacallit, man?
Man, you ain't. Man, I accidentally deleted some of the footage, bro.
What do you mean, man?
Yeah, I accidentally, because I didn't have no space on my shit the other day, and I went through and deleted some shit, but I didn't watch everything. I only watched like a couple of the videos.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, that's my thing. If I put a video up, I gotta watch my video back to make sure I didn't say something. I'm not gonna watch back a 30-minute video on YouTube. I'm just too lazy. I got shit to do.
And I've uploaded videos before, then I had to delete them because I've uploaded the wrong copy, or I missed something, or I misspelled something in the.
Yeah, there you go.
captions.
I'm gonna misspell so much shit, and people are gonna fucking heckle me, and I'm not with it. I can't see you through a computer.
No, that's right. Well, man, it's been great having all you guys on the panel tonight, man. Shout out to the chat, the 30 that's still watching with us at 2:30 in the morning, East Coast time. We really appreciate y'all guys hanging out with us.
Most
definitely. Up tonight. We're going to say see y'all next week. Stay tuned to us. We're going to try to get some of the OGF family on next week just to talk about what they got going on. And we're going to hit y'all with some topics.
Well, y'all be good. Yo, quick shout out to my people at DGC, Kilo, Malik, Spider. Great people, man.
Most definitely.
There you go, bro. Most definitely. Blunt Thumb, baby. Glad you was on this chat on the live stream today, man. It was good to have you on, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Always Frosty, man. Even though you came late, baby, it was good to see
you. Yeah, no, I've been late. I've been working, bro. Like right now, I'm right down here right now.
Man's Food just popped back in. Hey, Man's Food, sorry about blowing your phone up the other day with all them alerts, man. I tagged him in about everything I posted on Instagram. He had to send me a text saying, brother, please stop tagging me. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I saw that.
Root, always. Monster, baby. You know what we do, man. Growth hit you on the gram if I don't hit you up on the Hangouts, man.
Yeah.
All right, it's a Trichome Chaser TV signing off. Peace out to everybody.